All right.
Anyway.
We're actually going to start now.
I was going to say, we're recording, right? People love to hear about the minutiae.
I always take all this out. I always just cut in once David starts talking about Catholicism.
All right, David, go.
So when I was an altar boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually used to love serving weddings and funerals because people were so generous. You got extra money when you did that. It was great.
Do they tip the altar boys?
Yes, they absolutely tip the altar boys.
Are you like strippers? Are you like strippers? Do they stick singles in the waist of your pants?
They did not.
They are like strippers in the fact that the management sexually takes advantage of them.
I assume you've been sexually molested by a priest.
I'll have you know, my church was a legal business.
Ah.
Okay, so they did not molest the altar boys.
So you were in the good 1/3 of Catholicism.
It was a legal business, but it wasn't. It was a legal business, but not a religious constitution.
It had no religion, whatever. But all right.
All right. All right, so there's
Also, Jesus tastes fucking delicious.
Yes, we do know that you love the Eucharist, yes.
Yeah, and there is your guys' weekly dose of Catholicism.
You know, if Pope Francis ever listened to this, he'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Hello.
He's a good pop.
All right.
He's a good pope. I just called him a pop.
A good pop.
I mean, that's
what they call him.
Yeah.
Papa.
It's Papa Pope.
Papa Pope?
He's
Papa
a cool Papa.
Yes.
He's literally called Papa in like Spanish and Italian, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Padre. I think it's Padre.
All right, we're actually
okay, we're going
starting now.
Wait, I gotta correct someone. Mary, Padre is only a priest.
Oh, it's only a priest. So you become Papa. It becomes more familiar when you get to be Pope.
Yeah.
If you become Papa, you become a pizza man.
All right.
All right.
Papa Murphy.
So first off, I was checking.
Zach's going to try and rein us back in here. Yeah. It's not even going to happen.
So I was checking Mary's character sheet. I noticed you probably didn't have something written down that you guys should have. Everyone gained 1 dot of status after the rescue of the prince some time ago. I've been treating you as though you did have it, but...
Oh, okay. So we all have a
What an extra point?
Of Camarilla status?
If you already had a point of status, then you gained 1 more.
I'm at 4 now, then.
Wow.
At 4? Did you start at 4 status, or is that something from later Jonathan that's in this sheet for some reason?
When did Jonathan ever gain status? He lost some on the ship. I don't think he ever gained some.
How did you start with... How did Zach let you start with 3 status? You're a neonate.
But that's what I'm saying. I think I might have already added that.
Alright, you may have done.
I'm keeping it at 3 then.
So this is...
You might have confused it with mortal fame.
This is...
Yeah, there's fame. It's not status. You have fame.
Yeah. So maybe he's missing fame, and he had it down as status by mistake.
Possibly.
Maybe. I'll put fame 3 status 1. Does that work?
Yeah, because I know you had fame 3.
I'm like, we're neonates. There's no possible way you had 3 status.
Yeah, no, Jonathan.
And I know your sire.
I'm a really
She's not
good
that
neonate.
Important. Yeah, whatever. I know your sire. She's not that important.
She's really not.
She's nice.
Your sire
Alright, so this is Camarilla status, right?
My book was really good, okay?
Alright. So furthermore, Stephen, because of the...
Because I fucked up so many times.
Yeah, you have nothing.
Just completely.
Because of the business that you opened up, I forgot to tell you this, but you also get 1 point of influence from that.
I opened up a business. I did.
The bookstore?
Oh, the bookstore. Yes, I did.
I'm assuming you did stuff like join the Chamber of Commerce, everything like that.
I did. I am legally registered within the state.
And then you're also doing the teaching of the computer classes. So you've just generally... It's only 1 dot status, but generally you've met, like, the Chamber of Commerce. You've met the school board.
I go to their functions.
So, and Jonathan, you're handling the financial situation, but are you actually investing any of your money in Gary?
You should. Most definitely. Stephen has talked you up on this.
Okay, I want you to make a manipulation plus, I guess. I'll swap the future finance, whatever you prefer roll. To see how well you would talk me up into this.
Or I can just have Modius tell you to do it.
That ship has sailed. You told you were talking me out.
He doesn't have that much money, so Modius is not going to force the issue with him.
Oh, okay.
If you want to try and be convincing, I guess.
So I got 3 manipulation. Sure, let's give it a roll. I'm gonna give the.
All right.
Because I'm talking to Lucy too. I need to bring in talent. If you don't want to invest, that's fine. If you could bring in some talent.
So what is it? Just 3?
3.
All right. I had subterfuge.
Oh, do I have subterfuge? Okay, that's 4. I love that it's subterfuge, like I'm lying to him.
But you could also use finance if you preferred.
This is actually
We could
a
do
good
leadership.
opportunity.
Let's do leadership.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good roll. That's 7.
All right, so that is... All right, so Miles, what's your willpower?
5.
All right, so that's going to be the difficulty. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Oh yeah, you're sold.
I'm absolutely sold. I will invest quite a bit.
Oh, good.
Now, you're barely sold.
I mean, 5 is as good as it gets.
What about, can I make a roll with my own finances to see if it's actually a good idea to invest?
Sure, intelligence plus finances.
7. It's gonna be real bad if I find out it's a terrible idea, but you've already convinced me.
You can make it work.
So you're not really sure. Obviously, if the investments work out right, you're gonna make, some money. If they don't work out, you're not gonna make so much money.
Loden from Chicago is forced to. We got his backing too.
I see.
So he's promoting. We got investors from Chicago.
I suppose I have some spare cash I could use.
I'm invested. Obviously.
This is like a Ponzi scheme somehow.
Yes, but we're at the tip.
I have resources free. I will invest one of those, which is half of it.
All
so
right.
I'm down to resources 2.
All right. If it doesn't work out, obviously you still basically have the resources because it is stuff you own. But if the investment doesn't work out, then yeah, you're gonna lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So you had some disposable cash. You put it in. I mean, you're the guy running the finances, so you know who's investing.
Yeah, if it doesn't work out, you kind of do have only yourself to blame.
Kind of blaming you, because you're hiring the vendors and the stuff to do the work here. So, put your money where your mouth is, Jonathan.
All right.
I don't have that much money.
You got enough.
All right.
Write another book. You'll be fine.
I'm trying! It's covered the entire point of my character. Literally the entire reason I moved to this fucking city was to get inspiration for a new book.
You moved to Gary to get inspiration?
It's a horror book.
I don't know.
I assume it's like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Candyman, but I assume it's like that. It's just shitty slums of Chicago, and there's a monster there.
He wants to get the realism of the... Anyway, alright. Sure. Alright, so we're starting now. So we've
Actually, to be fair, what with, like, a Slenderman-esque, unseelie fae after you...
Yeah, it's been working quite well so far.
Yeah.
So, you're just gonna write your autobiography and sell it as a fantasy novel.
The handsome, rakishly clever author-writer, Johann White. It's gonna be like Stephen King, where it's literally just him. Like. All right. So, Ryan.
You're in a forest. I can tell from the pictures.
Yeah. So, you... Basically, the last thing you remember was Jonathan dread-gazing you, and then, weird, cold hands wrapping around you and pulling you through the wall.
Kind of feels like Lucy.
Oh.
Not really. She's never pulled him through a wall.
Well, it was the damp, cold hands.
Her hands aren't damp.
Alright. It was the cold hands.
She takes a shower before they make love.
So she gets her capillaries all.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever. Fine.
She takes a shower after they make love.
Alright. That's more realistic.
Alright.
Wash off the Ryan germs.
So, Ryan, you awaken in the forest. You, you come to inside of a, what seems to be some sort of burnt-out shack.
Oh boy.
In this, like...
Is this where Jonathan was?
Forest location. Yeah, if you watch Jonathan's Prelude, it's a lot like that. The main difference is that there's someone here. There's actually a, like, catatonic-looking figure just sort of huddled up in one of the corners. And there are just a bunch of... Besides him, the only other thing in the room is there's a bunch of, like, lit candles around.
Huh. Okay, so wooden shack in a forest, catatonic figure, candles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
God. Alright, so, what's the state of myself right now?
The other thing I should mention... yeah, I'll get to that. The other thing I should mention is that it does oddly seem to be daylight. Although the color seems weird and washed out to you, and it doesn't seem to harm you as you're under it. Checking all the stuff on your possession, it seems as though basically everything is there. You can't find, like, your staff, what was in your hands, but when you check your pockets and everything, and your pack, everything seems to be inside. And obviously, when you check your phone, you find out that it is disabled.
Is he waking up in frenzy?
No, he's good.
Okay.
Alright. So, Brian Farrell also awakens to a new ability.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to study the patterns in these candles.
Alright.
You're gonna have to get a book.
Yep.
So my perception plus occult is 5.
Alright.
He doesn't have to get a book because you know the role.
I like this. Yeah, I don't know where my main rule book is. It was around here somewhere.
Is it the vampire one?
Yeah, it's the big one. The hard.
It's there on the shelf.
Ah, there it is. Yeah. So, you start looking into these candles, and you feel as though... I'm trying to think about how to put this.
Feel all tingling inside.
Ruh-roh.
Alright. So yeah, you feel as though you're not in a place... You feel almost like you're disconnected to the Malkavian Madness Network. It feels as though you're communicating with it, but only over, like, a great distance.
Wow, so I'm outside of Malkavian time.
And then you kind of are feeling that for a little bit, and then it seems to shift, and suddenly you feel like you might be closer to it than you've ever been before.
Wow.
Although this seems different. Like, usually it's like a cluster of voices in your mind. Now it seems like one is drowning out all the others. And I am going to require a frenzy roll now. So that's going to be...
not a nice voice.
No,
that's going to be self-control.
It's a voice screaming at you.
So my self-control is fortunately 4.
But unfortunately,
Actually, I guess exposure to this would probably be courage. But I think that's also 4, right?
My courage is actually 5.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
There we go. Worked out.
Unfortunately, the difficulty's like 12.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just a happy accident since this is my first character, but it really makes sense for Ryan to have maxed out courage.
He's got a lot of balls and not much else.
You know, because he's got a lot of fears. A lot of paranoia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I've got a lot of courage rolls to make.
Yeah, he has to deal with it so often. Alright. So yeah, you absolutely freak out. Like, you're not sure. There is, like, all of a sudden, like, the babble of voices, like, it's so distant you almost can't hear it. And then there is one voice stronger than out. Stronger than anything else.
Free real estate.
It's speaking in a language to you. It's speaking clear, like you can actually hear it almost as though it were another voice directly in the room with you, but it's speaking a language you don't understand, but terrifies you. So you end up gibbering in the corner, basically along with this other guy, for a while. You have no idea how long you're there. It could be the matter of minutes, or it could be a matter of days.
Right. Okay. And it stops?
It does not, yeah. Once you basically break the connection, the voice doesn't, like, follow you or anything.
Okay, so no Malkavian powers here.
Well, I mean, it did something.
Yeah, you have.
If you had been able to understand...
don't use them because they turn you into a gibbering pile of mush.
Well, I suppose that does tell me something.
Mm-hmm.
It would seem, I mean, am I, as Ryan, aware enough that I was sent here by whatever happened to me in the room?
I mean, it feels pretty obvious that that's what happened, yeah.
Okay. So whatever that was has something to do with the Madness Network, apparently. It would seem.
Yeah.
Well, so can I mundanely have a look at the room and see if I can't discern anything?
Yeah, give me a perception plus investigation.
7.
Alright. So, you look around this place, it looks like it was burnt out some time ago. You check for... the ground seems kind of dusty and like there's some ash over it. You kind of look around, you don't see your own... you see your own footprints that you're leaving right now, but you don't see any footprints basically bringing you in. It seems as though you just appeared directly out of the ground here where you were laying.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of candles, and they are, like, really tiny, just thin candles like you would buy at, like, the dollar store, basically. But they don't seem to be burning down. They're still, nearly full.
Are they on the floor?
Yes. There is no furniture.
Are they in holders?
Huh? Yes, they're in, like, little cheap metal holders around them.
Would there be a shape to how they're distributed, like a fucking pentagram type thing, or what?
See, in the middle of a pentagram.
You actually do see, they do seem to be in, Can you not rest your feet on that?
Well, it's comfortable.
I mean, it jiggles
gonna-
everything.
It's fine
I
now.
wonder, are the candles gonna make an operator symbol on the floor?
So, yes, you do find they're not in an operator symbol. They do seem to be in just kind of a crude circle, but it's definitely not a perfect circle. Like, some of them are jutting out at random angles.
Ooh, put them all in a circle, David. See what happens.
My Zelda senses are tingling. Alright.
Move the blocks.
I think I should first just have a look. Without trying to interfere with it, I'll have a look at that figure crouched in the corner.
Alright. I already sent Miles a little message about this, so...
Oh,
The figure gets up and attacks you because it's actually anti-Jonathan.
actually, yeah, well, whatever, okay, so I'm just looking at it. What do I see?
It looks a lot like Jonathan, but weird and haggard. It looks as though he hasn't done his daily, like, preening ritual for centuries.
Centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
And his clothes are basically rags, and there's a cat that won't shut up. And,
That's Jonathan.
That's Jonathan.
He's making that noise.
and then, yeah, and he seems to have sort of a deranged look in his eye.
Okay. I will attempt to call out to Jonathan. So I'll be like, Jonathan, is that you?
With a question mark at the
Right
end.
then. I immediately spring back up, stand straight, turn to face him. Hey.
Oh. Right. Friend or foe?
What?
Okay, yeah, you seem normal and all.
Clueless. That's normal.
I love that this is normal Jonathan for David.
I know.
Jonathan White, why are you here?
What am I?
Did he just say, what am I?
Where am I?
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Tiny bit more.
Why am
So-
I?
Okay, so you don't know.
No, I don't. I don't know.
Okay, I guess we were both taken here then. Something happened last night. Don't know what. But yeah, does Ryan recall the fact that it was Jonathan dread-gazing him and pausing him?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
You son of a bitch! Punch him.
Fist in the mouth.
Alright.
All right.
Alright, so, I don't have my staff. That's really annoying. I can still probably take Jonathan in a fight, but let's be honest.
I don't know. Do you have Celerity 1?
I was gonna say, there's
Yes, I
dread
do.
gaze. Don't forget the dread gaze. Don't look him in the eye.
That's true. That actually
You
messed
want to
him
end
up
up in the
last time.
corner again?
So yeah, does it work like Dominate where he has to establish eye contact somehow first?
I think
Yes.
it does. Yeah.
Okay, is there boost my resistance to presence, since I presume that's how he makes people look at him?
I mean, you can just avoid looking at him. It shouldn't be a problem.
You are gonna
Okay.
need a blue scarf, Ryan, eventually.
A blue scarf? What's that?
You're gonna have
Toreadors
to talk to
hate them.
Steven. You're gonna have to talk to Steven. Remember to talk to Steven.
It's one of those 5 weird tricks that Toreador don't want you to know about.
Exactly.
Cool. Alright, so anyway, in the meantime. Alright, so I'll avoid Jonathan and I'll be like, alright, you know what, Jonathan, just, I need you to work with me on this, right? I think I can get us out of here. So here's what you
Okay.
need to do for me.
Okay. What?
I'm gonna stay on one end of the room, you're gonna stay on the opposite end.
Why?
And when I move, you're going to move so that you're always as far away from me as possible.
Why?
See the circle of candles, it's part of that. You'll see.
What circle?
Circle of candles. On the floor.
Where? Floor?
I said
Oh, I see.
So do that, alright?
Okay.
Alright, so I will attempt to move around the circle, putting the candles into their proper place.
I stay completely still.
Jonathan,
Yes.
remember the part I told you about you moving.
Oh, okay.
So go away from me.
I move a bit. Like half a foot.
Just an awkward shuffle.
As far from me as possible, Jonathan. Far.
I move another like 2 steps.
I will fucking kill you.
Do you say that in character?
I will fucking kill you, Jonathan Weiss.
You can't.
Anyway, I'm doing these candles.
How much blood do you
Can I
have? Do
get
you
the
want to pump
candles
celerity?
going, Zach?
Alright, so you move all the candles into place?
Yes.
Door slides open.
Alright.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Nothing happens. You've just moved the candles. They're all in a perfect circle now, though.
Okay, nothing did happen.
And you are disconcertingly near to Jonathan.
Yeah, as soon as I finish, I get as far away from Jonathan.
Oh wait, that's right. So you did... Yeah, obviously you had to touch the candles to do that, so I'm going to send you another message, Jonathan.
Okay. So I'm liking this.
Ah, the evil laugh.
Oh, yes. I'm really liking this. I stare very intently at Ryan.
I don't look at anything but your feet.
Alright, so you're not looking in the eyes?
Absolutely not.
Alright.
I'm in a really awkward spot.
I'm gonna let everyone think about this while we actually move over to the real world party.
Okay.
Okay.
Just planning.
So, Steven, you're just kind of puttering around the mansion.
I'm lost without Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's not here, Lucy's not here, Derek's not
Where's
here.
Lucy? She doesn't live anywhere else.
She went to move back in with Alicia.
And Jonathan? No.
Jonathan
because
is living in
that
his
thing.
office.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank fuck I'm living by myself now.
Okay, all right. Because you've escaped the women. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm putting
Phew.
around. Terry's there, though, right?
Terry is, although he was up all day basically on guard, so he's taking a nap
So
right
it's-
now.
All right, so it's me puttering around. I'll go down to my lab. I will search anything I can find. Maybe I'll call up. How long has it been since Ryan disappeared? Is it the next day?
It has been like a couple of weeks.
Okay, so I have searched my friend's library for anything and asked him.
Yeah, and he promised to do some of his own research on the
Okay,
topic.
so I've got people working on this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm puttering around the house. What is my blood?
We rolled for it last time, I think.
Okay,
So it
I'm
should
fine.
be
So I'm
correct.
good. Okay. And I've got my pills recharged. Okay.
All right. So you're just hanging out when you receive a call, and it says it's from Derek.
All right, so I will answer. Hello, Derek.
This is Art.
Oh, Art. Hello, Art.
I may be making a delivery for you. Where would you feel most comfortable picking it up?
I'll do my drop for the drugs.
All right. Says, all right, I'm going to be basically dropping off Derek for you.
Derek, you're the package.
We've already basically spoken with him, gotten everything taken care of, so he's free to go. I am going to be keeping Angus and Denise in my custody for the time being. I understand that you are owed a life boon by Angus.
Yes.
All right. And you would take advantage of the opportunity to serve the Camarilla in any way you can, right?
Oh, of course.
All right. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. So I will be taking possession of the life boon
For what reason?
for the good of the Camarilla.
Can you please tell me why?
Give me a charisma plus, charisma plus etiquette.
Oh, that's a whopping 3.
All right. So he says, all right, Angus has had some contact with the former Judicar of Clan Gangrel, and we would like to, the Camarilla would like to speak with him to use the channels that Angus has. And you know that the former Judicar of Clan Gangrel basically went off the wall several years ago, claiming the antediluvians were rising, and he tried to pull his clan out of the Camarilla.
Angus is one of those. So is this a legitimate reason to give over my life?
Yeah, it does seem like it would be a legitimate Camarilla cause.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Yes.
All right. The Camarilla appreciates the support of, of kindred like yourself.
Sure.
I will be sure to mention this to
I
anyone.
was going to say, I hope that this will be remembered in future.
I will be sure to mention it to anyone who asks. So, you can put down that you gained a dot of status.
Another dot? I'm like 2 status now?
Yeah. Well, you've been in one status for a while. It was only because I was looking.
It's like, holy
I was
cow.
getting ready for this. I'm like, oh wait, they never. I forgot to say
no.
the first one.
Wow, like 2 status. Mm.
All right. So yeah, Derek, you have been in Art's custody. He's been a little bit nicer with you than he has been with your torso of a sire.
Oh, he's got his arms and legs
Excellent.
back by now.
Well, you know, it does take a while. It takes like 5 days to regrow one limb, and he's lost like 4, so...
Yeah, okay. So he's got like 1 arm and 1 leg.
Yeah.
He's hopping around, slapping people.
Alright. So he's been a little bit more gentle with you, although he has asked you, you know, a number of pointed questions about what's been going on.
Only the gangrel had dominate.
So, yeah. Once he's finished, you've kind of been sort of locked away in sort of a safe house for a while.
Derek's getting used to that.
But once the questioning is finished, Art comes in and is like, alright, I spoke with your friend Steven, and he is going to pick you up. And basically you're free to go.
Awesome. Thanks.
Alright?
Starworth has music playing in the background.
Yeah.
I noticed.
I thought it was a very romantic moment
It
between him and
was.
Art.
It was an epic moment of something.
His inner thoughts, just pure happiness exuding.
Yes, that is great, Art. Thank you.
So he basically takes you outside, takes you into his shitty hippie van, and rolls
Smoke a
off.
little weed and you roll on down the road.
Yeah, rolls off. Pulls up at the drop-off point. And if you show up, then yeah.
Sure, I will be there. I got
Hippie van.
nothing else to do. At least I got one of my friends back.
Hippie van pulls up, and Derek comes out.
All right, we have the luxury car waiting for you, Derek.
Thank you, Art. Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it.
Alright. Keep your nose clean, son. And he closes up the door. Says, I'll be in touch. Gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah, he's probably sorry he ever met you.
He does like the thumbs up followed by the peace sign.
Yeah.
And then drives away.
Alrighty. Stephen reminisces about his counterculture days in the 60s. Looks like Art never really got out of that.
Steven didn't really get out of it either.
I am a dapper British gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Anyway. So Derek. What happened? Tell me about your experience.
Basically, he had me in the safe house. He treated me pretty nice. He asked me a few questions about, you know, what was going on and everything, and you know, as my sire was growing back his limbs, and I chuckled afterwards.
Yes, it is fortunate that I saved him from total destruction.
Yes, fortunate.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes,
We
Derek
all-
says, and pats
yeah.
you on the shoulder.
Well, apparently... Apparently your sire has some interesting connections. I
Indeed.
say expectantly, trying to get more from Derek.
Well, I'll tell you all that I know.
Not much.
Which is nada.
To be fair, in terms of about his sire, you guys probably do know about the same amount.
Okay, that's what I just wondered if he had... I was going to say, Art didn't drop any hints as to your sire of any...
Actually, he probably knows less because Derek was embraced after the gangrel almost left the Camarilla. So,
Alright, well... Alright, well, so what I've gleaned from this is that Derek's sire is not necessarily a gangrel favorite, since the gangrel did not leave the Camarilla, although the last
a lot
two
of them
were-
did.
Oh, some of them did.
Yeah,
Did Angus leave the Camarilla? Is he
that's
like a not...
a possibility.
Is he an independent? So there's Sabat, Camarilla, and what, the independents?
Yeah, so
It's like
the
the
clan gangrels
Republicans, the
basically
Democrats?
split 3 ways, pretty much equally at this point. There are the gangrel and teacher there are the independent gangrel. that are still being led by this former Judicar, and then there is also the Camarilla Gangrel.
Okay, and so Derek is of the independent Gangrel, but has become a Camarilla Gangrel.
The independent and Camarilla ones, there's like a ton of crossover, because Gangrel are always pretty independent anyway. They usually don't hang out in cities, so...
And they certainly don't befriend Tremors.
As far as, like, the Camarilla Gangrel are concerned, the independent Gangrel are still Camarilla Gangrel. They just don't think they are.
And where do your loyalties lie, young Derek?
My loyalties lie with my friends.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, then.
Great answer.
All right, then. Yes, just remember
And then
who
Steven
you're...
says, yeah, but are the Camarilla your friends?
Well, you know, I have a complicated relationship with the Camarilla myself.
I mean, you just got a dot of status for helping a
Yeah,
Judicar.
you know.
That's pretty cut and dry.
You know, it is. But yet, who doesn't want to be friends with Harry Houdini?
That's true. Well, he doesn't have a problem with the Camarilla.
He's just Sabat. Or is he an independent Tremere?
You don't know.
I don't know. Well, did I see a thing on his head?
You did not.
Okay, so he's not Sabat. He has not drunk the Valder.
Nope.
Okay, that's all I know. All right. But he's not necessarily in my clan. Anyway, so I understand these complicated political situations. So, Derek, we need to locate Ryan. Any ideas?
I don't know.
Did Art give you any information about Slenderman?
Not really.
Well, what good are you, Derek?
I can talk to animals.
Well, that's good, because the dogs are a little out of control. Let's go home and take care of that.
Alright, so we're gonna move over to Jonathan then.
Okay.
So you wake up in your office, and the security guard has basically left a message for you. Says there was some weird guy who was just hanging around and asking questions about the office. But yeah, he's been basically dominated to report weird stuff to you and Prince Modius, so... He lets you know about it.
What did he look like?
He gives you kind of a description, although this guy was like... One of the reasons he was so weird is because, like, he's wearing, like, a big heavy coat, and he has, like, a hat kind of pulled down over his face. He looked really suspicious.
He was in a trench coat with a fedora. It was weird.
Actually, he almost was. He was in a trench coat, and he did have a big, like, wide brim sort of hat.
What a creep.
Yeah.
Sounds like Ryan.
So he was, like, really dirty, and this guy thought he might have been homeless.
Sounds like Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for letting me know. I will hopefully look into it.
Alright.
He did also tell Modius, correct?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Well, I will see if I can't tighten up security a bit around here, because that makes me quite nervous.
Alright.
So, let's see.
Are there security cameras installed in the building?
There are around the perimeter, but, and, like, in the main lobby, but not anywhere in the building.
So was he caught on camera footage?
Actually, I don't know. Let me look up the readout I gave Miles.
Okay.
Right. Sure thing. I have some ideas for really basic upgrades to security. Really basic.
A lock
I love
on
how
the
I-
door.
Yeah, so there's...
You sent Miles is so big you have to consult it yourself.
It's only like one page, but it is like 600
It's
words.
not like our mansion document.
So there is, like a... There would be, I haven't written down, but there would be a security camera looking at basically the front entrance, but that's about it. Yes, he would have been caught on it, but it's like kind of a shitty security camera, and he's wearing like a big coat and a hat.
So you didn't see his face. Okay.
No. It's basically
Alright.
like the security footage you see from like gas stations when someone just runs and like punches the teller and then just grabs money out of the.
So like Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, I will get some string and basically make a sort of Home Alone trap right in front of the door,
Yeah.
where if they open it, something will fall down and make a ton of noise.
Okay.
I will place something very fragile or already broken, like some glasses of shard, at the edges of the windows, like below them, where someone jumps down there.
Okay.
And then I will make sure that the area I sleep in is locked by another door.
Okay.
So they have to go through extra security to get to me.
Okay.
I also keep my gun with me when I sleep. In the same room, I mean.
Okay.
Right.
So the room that you are in, you can get into like a little side room. So if they came in through the main door, they wouldn't be able to reach you. But there are windows in every room in your office, so there will always be the option that they could come in through that. You're able to break the bottles and put the broken glass under the sills, no problem. And you're able to set up some cans or something in front of the door.
Alright.
So that's also no problem.
Can I barricade the one window into where I sleep without it being suspicious?
Because you're on a public street, it's going to be very hard to barricade without someone noticing.
You can't put bars on the windows?
You
What floor
could.
is he on? What floor is he on?
He is on the 3rd floor, I think.
Okay, so you've got some protection there.
You could arrange to have like burglar bars installed.
I would suggest you put burglar bars.
It is a little bit odd because up on the 3rd floor, people don't usually bother,
Yeah.
and no one else in the building has them. So,
But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
but you can do it, yes.
It also would mean that it's probably where all the valuables are.
Yes, it is sort of a.
notice the thing.
Remember, did any of you guys play New Vegas? Where Mr. House explained why he sent the stuff with just some guy? Because he didn't want to be sending a signal like, this is important, attack this!
Yeah. That's kind of how Modi's designed the security. Pretty much everything here. There is like heavy security
you are
stuff,
on the
but
3rd
it's
floor. They're gonna have to rappel down. How tall is the building?
4 floors.
So they're gonna rappel down from the roof in order to sit there long enough to get the lock off the window or climb. You do have some security because it's the 3rd floor. It's not like the 1st floor where you just stand there and...
It would be awkward, but he could put the bars on the inside of his windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You could do something on the inside of the... I was going to say, if he plywooded up the inside...
The other thing to keep in mind is that during the daytime, which is I assume where you're most concerned, it is on like kind of a major street in Gary, so it's not... And he is on the side facing the street, so
But if he...
no one's going to rappel down into it.
Right, but
if someone climbs up the building...
he's got to sunblock the windows anyway. If he boards up those windows from the inside...
You could do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think anybody noticed from the outside.
Yeah. Someone in a taller building or looking through binoculars might.
Looking through binoculars in through your window is going to be like, oh, hey, that's boarded up, but...
You know what I will do instead?
Okay.
I'll grab some small nails, so glue them to the windowsill and someone breaks in from that way.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Alright. So this is just like nailed up. There's shrapnel everywhere. Your sleeping area is actually very dangerous if you don't know where to go.
Yeah, don't be like rolling over in your torpor, man.
Don't come home drunk, yeah?
Yeah.
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 Well, that's that's my ideas for security.
Okay.
All right.
Obviously, if I expect guests, I will clean it up, and that can presumably be done in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, if you've basically got a broom right there next to it and like a little container you can hide it
I was
in.
going to say the office area isn't necessarily, or do you have this in the office area as well? Probably. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The idea is just if they break in, I want them to make noise so I wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's that then. I will get back to work.
So we will head over towards. We'll move back over to Ryan then.
Nice. I've been looking forward to this.
Sounds great. So David.
I'm excited.
Yeah, things are still basically the way they are before.
Okay. So nothing has happened.
No.
Okay, good, good. Alright, so let's see. If I recall correctly, you described that it's day, so am I able to see outside of the shack?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
You-
to what extent? Is it open, or is
Yeah.
there only windows? What?
So you're looking out. There are some basically broken windows, and there's also places where the wall has kind of caved away, and you can look out. You are in what looks to be some sort of kind of a foresty area, but it looks like there is a disused, like, overpass, sort of concrete bridge nearby. So it seems
Do I
like...
notice that he's looking at the sun? Or the light, rather?
Yes.
Okay, I will speak up and say, the fake sun shines moonlight.
The fake sunshine is moonlight.
Yes.
Why are you privy to this?
I put my hand into where the sun is, and it presumably doesn't burst into flames.
Nope.
It's moonlight. Must be.
Actually, moonlight is sunlight, but, well, whatever.
It's reflected off the moon.
Yeah. Is there a fake sun or moon in the sky?
It's a
So...
day for night shot.
As you try and look up, it looks like there is something in the sky. It's really hard to look at. You know, you're trying to look at the sun, obviously. And it seems to be, you're kind of looking up through, like, branches and things, so it's kind of like you're looking up at something really bright through foliage. It's hard to tell. It could be possibly some sort of just large light positioned up above you if you were in some sort of interior location.
Okay. Well,
Stack, I got the message I sent you.
Let me look
Jonathan,
it
I
up.
believe this is where we part ways.
Alright, yeah, I got it.
Oh. Should I wait a minute?
No, I
No,
got
I
them.
sent the message. It's done.
We're good.
Okay.
You're screwed,
So-
Ryan.
So, I attempt to spend a blood point to charge celerity.
Alright. Yes, it does work.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, I believe this is where we part ways. And I
Why?
start
Why?
sprinting for
Why?
the o-
Why?
I start sprinting for the overpass.
Oh, I thought you were going to say this is where we part ways. I kill him.
No, I'm getting away from this creep.
Alright.
I will try to hunt him down.
Alright.
Hunt
I
me
will
down,
be-
man. Not follow me or chase
No,
me.
hunt me down. Yeah, you noticed that turn of
Hunt
phrase.
you down.
You noticed that turn of phrase.
So, are you trying to hide yourself once you get out of sight of him?
Use obfuscate.
You know what? No, I'm just gonna run for that fucking overpass because if I hide, Slenderman could just show up anyway.
That's true.
I mean, has Ryan? So like, obviously, yeah, Ryan couldn't get a clear view of the thing that grabs him, but would it be reasonable enough for me to say that Ryan can assume it's Slenderman?
Yeah, you already felt like the sort of operator sickness.
Yeah.
So,
You were
yeah.
coughing. You were nauseous. You knew it was him.
Yeah. So Ryan's pretty scared. The overpass provides a clear, open space. So actually, you know what? I'm in a fucking catch-22 right now, haven't I?
Yeah, because you don't like open spaces, but yet you
So,
need
yeah,
open
so it's
spaces to
obviously-
see what's coming at you.
A forest is the perfect spot for Slenderman to be hiding and fucking popping out at you, but a clear open space is part of Ryan's phobia. Wow.
Yeah, you are in a bit of a pickle.
Well, whatever. I'm just gonna have to power through. So head for that overpass.
Alright. So, you head up onto the overpass, and as you are getting there, you see there is what looks to be kind of a crappy pickup parked there. The overpass, it just kind of goes up a little ways, but then it just breaks off. There's nothing...
Is it the same crappy pickup we encountered at the state park with that guy?
Yes, and inside of the pickup, you do see Edouan.
Oh, he's got a name now. Edible.
He always had a name. He introduced himself as Edouan.
Did he?
Yep.
Does he look normal?
Yeah, he looks normal. Jonathan, you said you were hunting him down?
I am.
Alright. So you see him up basically by the overpass, and he is talking with Edouan. And,
Whom you are aware of.
yeah, I'm gonna send you another little message.
Okay.
I can't see from here. You know I'm blind from this length of... I can just tell how many lines it is. Multiple lines, Ryan. It's multiple lines.
Oh boy.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have a question then. 1 second.
Okay.
And now Miles is gonna type back.
This is great stream content.
Uh-huh.
To be fair, they're just as in the dark as...
Yeah, they are. They're as in the dark as the rest of us. They only know
Maybe
whether
you
it's
could
now.
open a private
Single line.
chat.
It was a single line on the question.
There we go, sent.
Alright. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Okay. And the evil chuckles. Ryan,
It's the only chuckle I have.
You only have an evil chuckle.
Once you're evil, that just happens.
That might prove that might prove awkward in certain situations, but okay. You know.
A comedy show.
People next to you were like, I have to move. Alright.
The only move he has so far is chuckle. You have to level him up to get more.
Maniacal laughter is next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I see Edouan, yeah?
Yes.
Right then. I immediately grind to a halt and cautiously walk closer.
Alright. So, if you don't kind of immediately present yourself, Edouan doesn't actually notice you yet. He seems mostly concerned with Ryan. And he turns to you, Ryan, and basically asks, you know, what you're doing.
Trying to find a way out of here.
He is a child of Markov, listen not to his lies!
So, Ryan, you see Edouan pop his head out of the pickup, look over at Jonathan like, what the fuck? And then just kind of get back in his seat. And he says, you know, don't worry about him.
Oh.
And then he says, well, I mean, if you were trying to get out of here, I would suggest trying to find a bridge.
Not like this one, since this one's broken, yeah?
Yeah. But if you find a bridge that works, usually I find that's the best way to get from a place you don't want to be to somewhere else.
You wouldn't happen to know where there's a bridge, would you?
I can't help you.
Okay.
You're amazingly unhelpful, Edouan.
Nah, that's pretty helpful. I know what to do now.
Alright. Just gotta go wander around and find a bridge.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
you could have asked Jonathan.
He says, it doesn't matter, you know, if you do find the bridge, he'll always be watching.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, he shows up in the normal world as well, so... For now, let's focus on getting out of here, though.
Alright?
So... Why are you here, though?
He just kind of, you know, shrugs his shoulders, says, you know, if you want to know that, I suppose you could always ask your friend.
Jonathan, why is he here?
What do you want to know?
Just answer the question, though.
I asked mine first, you answer me.
No, actually, you didn't answer. I asked you first.
I'm aware. I'm fully aware. I'm fully aware of that.
I'm just curious. Let me know.
He's here to answer your question. Clearly.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna look for a bridge. Do I see any bodies of water or anywhere where there ought to be a bridge, Zach?
Alright, give me a perception plus alertness. Your farsight is going to help you here.
My what will help me here?
Farsight.
So that's 6.
Okay. So you are looking around in all directions, and you don't see anything like that, but on the distance you do think you can make out what looks to be some sort of, like, more lights in the distance, possibly some kind of city or something like that, if this is some sort of city park.
Huh.
But that's the only distinguishing feature you find.
Would a city have a bridge?
It depends on if it's on a river.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sorry, it would have like a really big fucking road bridge type thing, I guess. Whenever I hear bridge, I always think of a fucking rickety thing from like fucking
From Winnie the Pooh, right? Yeah.
from like Indiana Jones or some shit. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As it turns out, people go over bridges every day.
I was going to say, there's lots of bridges in lots of different
Is it
situations.
not?
If you want to drive to Salem, you're
Overpasses,
going over the
there's,
one bridge.
You know, there's...
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's bridges all over the place.
So
Portland's got a bunch of them.
anyway, I head to the city and I run as fast as I can. Hope that Jonathan will lose me again.
And
I still keep up my try anyway.
Alright, so that's going to be a contested strength plus athletics roll then. So we'll start with David's.
6.
You know, Jonathan is really just trying to help you, Ryan.
Okay.
But he's not acting like it.
I have done nothing to harm you.
You know, except
He's done everything to
freak him out.
disconcert me.
And so what is...
Yelling that he's a crazy Malkavian and can't be trusted.
So, what is this version's strength plus athletics?
This version.
Yeah, this version. Notice that turn of phrase.
Hold on then. I believe... yeah, if you include that, it's 4.
Okay.
Okay, it's not 1. We know it's not Jonathan. We know it's not Jonathan at this point.
You don't know shit. You actually are kind of keeping up a little bit, but he does start to outpace you. You do figure out that he is going to the city, so you can try and pick him up later. But
With
he
your
does get away
tracking
for now.
skills, which apparently this
Before this, I will scream out, "Do not cross the bridge!"
Fuck off! I scream.
Alright.
He will come!
He's gonna come anyway, innit?
The shed is safe! Safety! Shed! Come back!
Motherfucker.
Jonathan's just gone insane. Jonathan's Malkavian now.
Or is he making the most sense?
Yeah, is he the only sane one here?
Anyway.
The answer is no.
Speaking of Jonathan, what is your... Did we roll your intelligence plus finance to see how well you're doing at your job?
Not at his
Oh.
job.
Not this time.
Alright. So what
It's
is...
7.
Alright. It's good, because there are a lot of vampires invested in this.
Yeah, you're gonna be screwed if you fail.
Can I use a willpower point?
Yes, you can.
I will.
Alright. Yeah, so you don't think you've screwed anything up so far?
Okay, good, good. I don't like the phrasing, but good.
Alright. And, yeah, so, Stephen, you are contacted by Dent and Gibson.
Oh, yes.
So, as per your request, they have been researching a way to recover Ryan. They say they have started to come up with some ideas.
Okay.
Based on the notion that this is some kind of fae, it's possible that he could be residing in some sort of sub-realm of Arcadia. If that's the case, they may have a ritual to help you get through to him.
Uh-huh. Okay.
However,
it's the howevers that are always going to kill
you're gonna need to find something that has a connection to this creature.
To the creature.
Yes.
Would, like, my broken phone work?
It could, but ideally, the stronger the connection, it's gonna be a very difficult ritual anyway. The stronger the connection, the easier it's gonna be.
I don't know that this creature has any possessions. Like, he's killed people, and he's broken phone, and he's...
Fae do
touched
sometimes...
people.
They do sometimes try... They do consider people to be possessions as well.
I was going to say, both myself, Terry, and Jonathan have all been sucked through realms. Would we be possessions in some sort?
It is possible.
Alright.
If he is trying to take possession of someone, you may notice, like, weird... Have you seen any weird, like, signs on people's bodies? Have you noticed any odd behavior? Anything like that?
No, but I know the people who have been influenced by him in the past. Maybe with your help, we could discover if we have any connection to him that I'm unaware of.
All right.
So I will gather Derek.
Okay.
Terry, myself, I will call up Jonathan.
All right. So yeah, Jonathan, you're at work when you get a phone call.
Hello, Jonathan Rice speaking.
Hello, Jonathan. It's Stephen. I may have a way to get Ryan back, but we will need your help.
Oh, brilliant. Anything I can do.
Okay, so we will be by to pick you up in a little bit.
I'm just
I realize I said anything, but what exactly do you need? I need some more details than that.
Well, we don't know exactly. We may have a way to get Ryan back, but we need to confab a little first. So we'll be by to pick you up, and then we're going to meet Gibson and Dent.
Right then, that sounds perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'll be ready.
I love the juxtaposition between Jonathan's. All right. So yeah, after a little, you can head down there, and Jonathan, you see a car pull up outside the. You see Steven's car.
Right then,
Terry just beeps the horn. Beep beep.
I will hop in, I will lock the door, and I will make absolutely certain that all my security measures are in place.
Okay. Give me just
the hair across the door line.
You're being pretty paranoid right now, so give me a perception plus alertness.
Perception plus what?
Alertness.
5.
Okay. Yeah, so you check all of your security measures, and as you're looking out the door, in addition to Steven's car, there also seems to be another car that was in exactly the same place when you were putting in your security precautions before you started working, like a few hours ago. Like, it's just sitting there. And it seems odd to you, and then when you're going down, you can see there's actually someone in the car.
Okay, so not a car bomb.
Huh. Could I let anyone know about this?
I mean, it's as you're basically coming out to Steven's car,
I was
so...
say, you know,
I have a cell phone, so I think I'll give Modius a call about this.
Alright.
Oh, I'll get the license plate as well.
So are you going to get into Steven's car, or are you going to, seeing this, try and act casual, basically, and just sort of do something else?
I'm gonna ignore it, but give the call.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah. So Modius is very concerned, and he says he is going to, basically... He takes down the license plate, says he is going to have his people on it.
Alright. Thank you very much.
Alright.
And I overhear this call.
Mm-hmm.
So I am aware. Does this car follow us? Pull out when we pull out?
Yes, it does start to kind of pull out behind you.
Alert Terry.
All right. Pretty much immediately afterwards, it does go around a corner and seem to drop off.
Weird. Okay, we are on high alert for anything, if they're doing that whole multiple car following thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So, back with Ryan. Derek, you're going with them too, right?
Yes, I'm taking everybody that's had contact with Slenderman.
Okay. Mary's answered for you.
No, you had no choice, Derek. I pretty much said you're getting back in the car and coming with us.
I was gonna say yes anyways.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, I didn't have to have Terry strong arm him, so it was fine.
All right. So, Ryan, you leave the sort of forest area, and you basically come out into a city, which looks kind of familiar at times, and sometimes it seems to look like Gary to you, and then you get onto another block, and it looks like Chicago. But the really reoccurring impression you get is that it keeps reminding you of Belfast.
Of course.
Home.
The city is.
Yes.
I haven't entered it, have I?
You kind of
You are?
basically
Yeah.
you've been walking through it a little ways because at first it looked kind of like Chicago to you, but as you get into it, it looks more like Belfast. Although every few blocks or so, you'll see something like a building that you remember being in Gary or in Chicago, but here.
In Belfast. Where are the bridges in Belfast?
Okay, so this pocket dimension now has some sort of connection to my memories now. That's nice.
You do hear, like, the sounds of, like, a city. You hear, like, cars and stuff in the distance, but you never see anything directly around you. You don't even see any people on the street, although you do see, give me another perception plus alertness.
Oh God, 6.
You do see Slenderman lurking in a corner.
You do see, like, figures and things that seem to be slinking in the alley, but you can't make them out, and it looks like they're not even necessarily people. Like, if they were, they would be, like, down on all fours or something.
Oh, fuck, that's scary.
You just see, like, shadows, like, scuttling.
Scary, scary,
Across
scary,
the alley.
scary, scary.
It would literally be scarier if the figures turned out to be people walking around on all fours. That's so
Scary.
fucking creepy. Fuck.
Scary! This isn't like
So you could go into one of the alleys and investigate further, but it looks like the sun is kind of in a position that indicates early evening, but in the alleys, for some reason, I guess because of the buildings, it is like pitch black. So you would have a very hard time seeing anything if you did go inside one of them.
So if I take too long and the sun comes down, these fuckers from I Am Legend are going to come out.
It's possible.
It's entirely possible.
I want to die.
Find yourself a bridge.
Oh, okay. So, what are the buildings like? Do they look like I could actually go inside them?
Yes. Some of them do. A lot of them look boarded up. Or just kind of like...
It's what reminds you of Gary.
Yeah. The Gary ones definitely look boarded up, but it looks like you might be able to get into some of them, if you wanted to try.
So is this the part where I walk around clicking on all the doors? It's like, this door is locked. This lock is broken.
The lock
This
is broken.
Mm-hmm.
You go up in it.
Pretty much. That's
Jammed.
What this is. Yep. This is what that is.
Mary?
Till you find
Maria?
a key.
Am I going to find a bunch of holes and I have to jump into them?
No, but you are going to find out that the locks have, like, these weird sigils carved on, like a helmet and an armor and a shield.
Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I'll venture going into a shop-like building or something, whatever seems to be actually enterable. Are they pulling the same shit with things inside them are being pitch black inside or anything?
No, you can kind of see some light. Like, if you find a place with, like, big windows or something, you can see light still seems to be streaming through into them.
Alright, so what do I see if I try to look through a window of one of these buildings?
It looks to be kind of empty. You find, like, just kind of a convenience store. But a lot of it looks kind of, like, messy. Like, stuff is, like, chips and things are, like, all over the floor. Like, kind of shelves have been overturned a little bit. It doesn't look like post-apocalyptic. It's not like you're looking at like Fallout 3. But it does look...
the tanker murderers have run through here.
Yeah, it looks like someone just kind of ran through and knocked some things off the wall.
Right.
You don't see any people inside, but you would have to go inside to try and get a better look.
The crab walkers could be behind the shelving.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? Fuck that. I'm staying outside.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Man, scared.
Scary.
So, just out of curiosity, Jonathan, are you still, like, as you're hunting him down, are you still, like, trying to call out to him, basically? Call him back to you?
Oh, constantly.
Okay. So, yeah, Ryan, as you're, like, hanging out, looking into this thing, you hear, like, Jonathan's voice, like, kind of coming on the wind. It sounds like it's at a distance still, but it sounds like he's yelling at you.
Child of Malkov, heed my call.
Well, can I tell from whence his voice is coming?
Yes, it does seem to be the same way that you came from.
I shall continue to head in the opposite direction.
Fucker.
Meantime, though, I
just trying to help you.
Finally, go get yourself killed. See if I care.
This is really frustrating with you chasing me, since I am trying to not get caught. But I really want to try the Malkavian power thing again. But obviously, if I fail again, then you're going to catch up with me, since I'll be immobile for days.
You should have, while you were in the forest, you should have looked for a sturdy stick that you could use as a staff.
Hmm.
It has to be cold iron, Mary.
Well, not against Jonathan necessarily. You could still, like, whack him in the head.
Listen, at the end of the day, right, I could beat Jonathan in a fisty fight.
Alright, okay, alright.
Probably.
Could you beat this, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Maybe not this version, though.
Yes, no, because I did have a glimpse at your stats and you still couldn't keep up with me, bitch.
Alright. Don't get cocky, though, Ryan. Don't get cocky.
Alright.
Oh, anyway. Actually, oh wait, of course. Can I obfuscate?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I obfuscate.
Alright.
Hey, now then. That doesn't help, because obviously if I fail and go into a frenzy, it's gonna drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look for a bridge. Where are the bridges in Belfast? You remember Belfast. Where are the bridges?
Well, you know, the thing about Jonathan is that he is, so like, it's not that I'm listening to Jonathan when he said not to cross the bridge. But it's like, why should I trust the guy back there either, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like Jonathan has some sort of knowledge about this place.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the end of the day, Jonathan did, if I recall correctly, in character, Jonathan did share a bit of his experience when he ended up in this situation.
And how did you get out of the nether regions before? Because you were sucked in with Slenderman before, right? Was it Derek that had to cross the bridge? Who had to cross the bridge before?
It was Jonathan.
Oh.
So you know, obviously, Ryan hasn't watched the fucking video.
Okay, right. Well, I can remember who did it. If it
I
was
think
Derek
I'm pretty sure Jonathan. Didn't you relate the story to everyone when you got back into the real world?
I believe I did. I also told them another piece of advice I had gotten, which was to kill myself.
That's true. Admittedly, he
You
did
can do
cross the bridge to get out, but then at the same time, he's still here and telling you not to cross the bridge, so maybe,
Yeah. So that's the thing. All right. So that
Okay.
helps a lot. So Ryan does have this knowledge. All right. So then, in that case, Ryan knows that. So like obviously, real life, Jonathan betrayed me and helped Slenderman catch me. So you can put 2 and 2 together here and see what's going to happen if I cross that bridge.
if that's real life Jonathan.
If that's real life Jonathan. Maybe this is real life Jonathan,
It's true.
and this guy just needs to kill himself. Maybe you need to kill him.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
Yeah, so,
David,
like,
ask
at the
yourself,
end of
which do you think is more likely? For Jonathan to betray you, or for Jonathan to go completely fucking nuts and live out alone in a shed?
That's fucking rough, I don't know.
I don't know. Either one of those could be true.
Yeah.
I mean, surely Ryan knows that Jonathan wouldn't, of his own will, decide to side up with Slenderman.
Well,
clearly,
do we?
Even if so, like clearly, even if
Yes, you absolutely know that.
Okay.
Jonathan, he has clearly been brainwashed or he's under some sort of control, so it's fine. All right, so I know the bridge.
Okay.
I also don't necessarily trust anyone I encounter here, though, because I still don't actually know what the deal is with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Miles, if your job here was actually to be helpful, you being a cunt at the start didn't work.
No, it was fun.
It wasn't fun for me.
It was fun for me.
Fun is a team sport.
No, it's not. No, it's not,
like
David.
Catholicism bans masturbation.
Because fun is a team sport. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
It's a good thing Jonathan's atheist.
Right, alright, so back into character. Right, so I'm on the street, I'm
Right.
getting called out by Jonathan. Ryan's starting to doubt himself, but he's also really spooked.
Mm-hmm.
So he remembers the other bit of advice was to kill himself. And that Jonathan didn't try that out. And now Jonathan's brainwashed. I'm gonna try this one more time. I want to do the dementation power again.
Okay. What is it that what are you going to try and focus on?
Jonathan's voice.
Alright. His just kind of rantings.
Yes.
Alright, so-
Exactly, because rantings are perfect.
So what's
Okay.
your roll for it?
5.
Okay. Alright. So, also give me, your courage is also 5, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright. So, you hear the same, voice speaking, again, a language you don't understand. And give me an intelligence plus linguistics. This'll be good.
2.
Wow. Oh, that's right, you speak Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 intelligence, 1 linguistic.
This is double what I thought you would have.
Twice as much.
Actually, it doesn't, so you
It sounds
have,
like Gaelic.
you actually listen to it, it doesn't sound like any language you've ever heard before in your life. Like, you're pretty sure it's nothing from, like, the European Union. It doesn't sound like anything you would hear in one of your Japanese animes. It's obviously not English or Irish.
Australian.
Yeah.
See, now
So it
Okay.
it would have to be some sort of like that, or maybe something. It wouldn't be. Well, I guess.
Babylonian.
Yeah,
Sanskrit.
it sounds like or Chaldean, like some sort of dead language maybe, or something very very rare.
Okay.
Like that weird Native American code breaking language or something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
But you do freak out. You do go into frenzy.
But in the meantime.
And, this will be a good chance, actually, for us to go back around to the other people.
Okay.
So the rest of you all arrive at Yield Magic Shop in Chicago. And, yeah. So, Dent and Gibson are waiting for you, and so they take you inside into the back room, which is like a ritual chamber. It's set up for hermetic.
Familiar with this all and
Yeah.
what all this stuff
You
is.
know pretty much all
very
of the
comfortable here.
paraphernalia. Yeah, so they say, obviously, we need to figure out who would be the best conduit between you guys. So why doesn't everyone just kind of generally share all of your experiences with this creature, and we'll try and determine who has the
Alright, then.
greatest connection.
In that case, I'll start. I was sucked into his dimension.
That's a very good start. It may be him.
I'm gonna look around at Derek and we were teleported within our own world, but none of us have been within another dimension.
So you've actually been in his pocket dimension.
I have. I would assume I have.
All right.
Certainly seemed that way to me.
Well, that's pretty easy then. We'll use you. And they start, they're like, could you please, lay down? They have like an altar prepared. And they do bring like a small like pillow and put it down for you, because it is like a stone altar.
Alright then. I immediately regret sharing information, by the way.
Yeah. So they start basically taking blood samples, doing magical
Do I lose a point?
study on you. Not quite that much. It's just like a few drops.
Okay.
Enough for magic to be cast on it, but that's it.
So now your blood is public knowledge.
It's in the public domain now, yeah.
It is in the public domain.
All right.
You do a 3D printer on Jonathan's name.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh, an army of Jonathans. All dread gazing.
We could conquer the world. All right. So, Stephen, are you assisting them with their work?
Yes, if
All
I
right.
can.
Then you give me an intelligence plus occult.
That is 7, I believe.
Okay.
Specialty in analytical.
All right. So as the study is going on, we'll jump back to Ryan. So you wake up. You're not sure how long you've been out. And you are inside what looks to be some sort of...
Standing over you, glaring.
You are inside of some sort of, like, lobby. It looks like some sort of apartment building lobby. The place looks kind of dirty, like the super hasn't been in for a while. And then you see, like, there seems to be some sort of weird form, like black form on the ground in front of you, just kind of laying in a lump.
Oh god.
Ryan just starts to cry.
Okay,
I want to go home.
No, that's David out of character. Oh god. Did I ever mention I'm really weak to like horror shit?
Oh, good.
So, this fucking black mass in front of me, yeah?
Yep.
Jesus. If I look at it, can I try to discern anything more about it?
Yeah, so a quick examination shows that it's actually multiple things. It looks like it's a bunch of body bags that are just kind of like stacked up in a pile.
You want to unzip those and check them out.
No, I don't!
Poor guy.
You killed me there. Okay.
Oh god, yeah. Alright. Yeah. I wake up and I still have all my shit on me and stuff, yeah?
Yes, everything that you had before you still have.
Okay, no! Why would I do that? No one would do that.
Steven would.
I'm not touching those bodies. Fuck off.
Okay, gloves on. We'll be
This
fine.
is like if a horror protagonist had just no sense of fun.
I know.
This is like a horror protagonist.
You need to run
David,
upstairs.
Ryan has 5 courage.
That's true.
You need to
Yeah,
run
but
upstairs
Ryan
where you have
also-
no escape.
Ryan also has common sense, alright? Listen, I'm not gonna be the kind of guy who hears a noise in the basement and goes investigate it, alright? I'm getting out of the house.
No, you're gonna run upstairs where you have no escape.
No, shut the fuck up, Mary. I try the front door.
All right.
Why are you coughing? You got slender sickness?
And yeah, no, he took a hit because this was so funny.
Oh yeah. You're making me laugh while I'm trying to smoke.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
how
bro.
dare
It's
you?
all good. All right.
Sorry, dude.
I can't believe you don't want to open the body bags.
Because you know they're all gonna be you.
There is the funniest thing in the world that would have happened, but someone just is no
It's no
sport. All right.
Smart.
Yes, you're able to open up.
I have a feeling Jonathan was gonna come out of that.
Gonna crawl out of the body bag.
And I'm not risking that.
Because that's the worst thing that you could ever
No.
see.
David, we are being streamed. We have to entertain our viewers.
You slowly
I tried.
unzip a body bag. Jonathan's inside, and then his eyes just open.
And it's Fred
Child of Molkov.
Fred
Leave
Gaze.
me. Oh.
Seriously, can I get out?
Yes, you are able to get out, and you're on a different street than you were on. You have no idea how far you ran.
Have I caught up with him yet?
No.
Damn it.
Do I hear his rumblings still?
Actually, no, you don't.
Oh god.
You do hear.
Is
it
that
seems
better or worse?
all quiet for a little bit, and then you hear the sounds of like gunshots in the distance, and then the sounds of police sirens.
Just like Belfast.
Yeah.
I'm back home. So-
The nostalgia takes him for a moment.
So, let's see. I'm gonna head away from the gunshots.
All right.
You are so just kind of chicken shit there. Ian.
He's scared.
He is scared. He's a 15-year-old boy alone on the streets of Belfast.
Listen, it's not about being scared, it's about being smart. Alright?
All right. We'll put it in that perspective. We'll spin it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So you're heading away from the gunshots?
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of came out. They seem to be coming kind of like from either side of the street, but there is a small alley that you can duck off. This one
The gunshots!
This one, actually, because of the way the sun and the buildings are positioned, this one actually is still lit up.
So there's no
If you do
weird,
want to go down the alley.
creepy people in it. Until you enter.
Does the alley make it all the way to the other side of the block without me having to turn?
Yes, it does. There is a part where you could turn if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
Ah!
You're gonna have to turn.
No, I'm gonna have to walk past the pitch blackness and a hand's gonna come out and grab
You
me.
betcha. It's gonna be Jonathan's hand.
That's even worse. Alright, no, not going into an alley. Gunshots sound like music to my ears right now.
All right. So as you're walking forward, you see what looks to be kind of the remains of some sort of gun battle. Like there are just bullet holes in the masonry. And as you're getting forward, you see like traces of blood on the ground. Almost like a trail leading you forward. And then as you continue forward, they get, bigger and bigger. And off to the side, you notice as you're passing by alleys now, in addition to the shadowy figures you sometimes see like clumps of what looks like meat just kind of hanging out near them. That you could grab if you wanted to.
Why would I do that?
I mean, just if you wanted to.
If he needed, you know.
There are little pools of blood around them, so if you wanted to go up and try and drain some vitae out of them, you could.
Tempting. But
The meat almost looks like it's starting to rot, but the blood is very, very fresh and, like, bright red.
I will not
Weird.
imbibe in anything provided for me in this world.
Alright. So yeah, as you're going on, like, the clumps of meat seem to be getting bigger. And as you eventually keep going forward, you see a figure in the distance ahead of you.
Is it emaciated?
Give me a perception plus alertness.
6 specialty.
Alright. So it is a man in a, like, long gray coat with a wide hat kind of pulled down over his face. And as you're looking at him much more closely, you can see he's not walking towards you. He is hovering just about an inch off the ground and floating towards you.
Fuck. Is it familiar? Does a person in these clothes ring any bells?
You don't remember anything like it, although, definitely, like, all of your senses are kind of telling you, like, something dangerous is coming right towards you.
Okay.
Your sympathetic nervous system is in full, like, fight or flight right now.
Looking around. Is there anything behind me?
Yeah, you can see that it seems like the way... You're not sure how you got through here, because there's rubble blocking the way behind you.
Is there a way to the side?
Yeah, there is one of the alleys that you can move down.
There is that alley that you didn't go
Does
down.
the rubble seem scalable?
It's, like, parts of it are, like, rubbled up, and then parts of it are actually, like, descended down into the ground, like, the street is collapsed, and then the buildings kind of fell over to the side, like, blocking the entries into the space. The street itself is mostly blocked off just by a big crack in the ground, where some sort of, it looks like possibly some sort of sewer main collapsed in.
So... Are you trying to say not traversable?
No, you could drop down into whatever's below. You would guess it's some kind of sewer, but you can't see.
I'm sure there's nothing scary down there.
Or you could go down the alley.
Okay, I activate celerity.
Okay.
I will test my might in the alley.
You're going in the alley?
Jonathan's
All
standing
right.
there. Child of Molkov! Come to me!
Alright, so you start running down the alley, and you can see this thing is floating after you, and it really is basically awful, because every time you look behind him, he's not hurrying at all, but every time you look behind you, he's getting closer. This guy is just very casually...
Ryan does a Wilhelm scream and runs faster.
Like, every time... Yeah, it seems like you're pulling away, like you look back behind you, he's just going, he gets slowly in the distance, and then something will happen, and you'll look behind you, and he's like always there, he's always keeping pace with you. Sometimes he's a little bit further ahead, sometimes he's a little further behind, and you're getting the feeling like he is just eventually gonna just pop up directly behind you.
I keep running and stop looking behind myself.
Yeah, they're right. That's scary. So as you're looking ahead of you, you can see the alley basically forces you off into a turn. There, you can't get all the way through this one. So it is going to require you to go into the darkness.
Oh God!
Embrace it, Ryan. Just embrace it.
I'll try my best. Let's go for it.
All right.
Just come to me.
As you head inside, you can see actually there is a little light. As you run up to it, you can see there is like a pocket flashlight, which has been left on, just pointing at like a wall, essentially. It's pretty much the only thing you can see. That's how dark it is that little light.
Fucking run to it and grab it.
Alright. So this is like a tiny little pocket flashlight. It looks like something almost you would hang on your keychain. So you're not showing off a ton of light. But it will let you guide your way forward.
Go.
Alright. Are you going to check behind you every once in a while to see if the figure still falls?
That slows you down. Don't do that.
Alright, so you hear, like, skittering on, like, the walls around you.
Don't look.
And accidentally you do catch a brief glance, because I want to use the descriptive text. It seems like you see weird humanoid figures, like, through a window, and they are running along the wall beside you inside the building. You just see them as you pass by a window. They have all 4 limbs on the wall and are, like, running horizontally.
They're spider people.
So then you're looking forward, and then you round another corner, and you can see it ends. There's like a wall in front of you.
What?
There is a wall in front of you of some kind. There may be a way around it, but you'll have to investigate if you want to find it, because you have that tiny little light. You can't see the whole thing.
Come to me.
So it's a perception plus investigation to do so.
7.
Alright.
I tried to do it as quickly as possible.
Alright. Does that mean it's a willpower? Quickly as possible?
Spend a willpower point.
Alright. Okay. So you start looking around, and this wall seems to be decorated with organs of some kind. And the weird thing is, like, you're looking at this weird heart that, like, captures your attention, and then you realize that it's still beating, even though it's not connected to anything. It seems to be actually nailed to the wall with, like, big metal, like, Jesus crucifix-style, like, nails. And as you're looking around, you can see on the very absolute edge, there is a tiny space that is barely wide enough for you to sidle through it.
Then I'll go through there.
Alright, so it's dexterity plus athletics to get inside, because it is, like, exactly your size.
And could I grab that heart on the way?
Yeah, if you wanted to. There are a bunch of other organs there as well, although it's harder to tell if they're active. Although you do see, like, lungs that are moving as well.
You know what? Best not to disturb it.
Alright.
Dexterity plus athletics, was it?
Dexterity plus athletics, yes.
Do I have my fucking armor on?
Yes, you do.
6.
You could take a chance to try and pull it off. You're not sure how far this thing goes, so you may be making several dexterity checks. It's up to you if you want to pull it off now.
How much time would it take for me to pull it off?
I assume you're not going to take the time to put your shirt back on. You're basically just pulling the whole thing off.
Yeah, if I could just fucking rip it open or
Just
whatever.
like a few seconds.
A few seconds.
Like 10, 15.
What? That's way too many seconds.
At the same time, it is going to be basically, because this is your size, it's going to be like scratching and catching on this wall like all the time, which is why it's going to be impeding your progress.
Take it off.
Alright. So you rip it off, and you start sidling in. So is your flashlight facing forward or back behind you so you can see something following you?
Forward, forward, forward.
Alright, so you don't know what's following you. Interesting. Alright, so you start sidling through this thing, like
Jonathan
as fast
follows
as you
me.
can go. And up overhead, you can see, like, darkness above you, like the night sky. And then you see, like, it through the moonlight, you see, like, more of those spidery man creatures overhead above you.
No.
They're weird. Your clothes
Totally
keep
having
snagging.
another paranoia after this. He's got another.
He's not going to be feeling great. So you are, like, sidling through this thing. Your clothes keep catching on, like, everything. And then you hear, like, this weird rumbling sound. And it feels like the buildings are actually vibrating as you're moving. Jonathan. So you can obviously see through because of your, the thing.
Because
Yeah, so you cut out and I just heard Jonathan.
Yeah, so you can hear, you can see in the darkness basically because of the augmented aspects thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like daylight to you, essentially.
Right.
Because you're a traitor and part of Slenderman.
So you're looking down the tiny little alleyway where, you heard Ryan, and it is, you can see him coming towards you, and you can see the gray man right behind him.
Alright then. I will lead him, just for him to follow me, and I will try to lead him back to the shed.
Alright. So, Ryan...
As I do that, I will tell him, "You should have listened to me, you moon-blessed idiot!"
So, Ryan, that's what you hear. From in front of you, obviously. And with the flashlight, you can see, the beckoning.
Oh, fine. I run to Jonathan.
There's this little light, and it just comes over, the hand beckoning you. You don't even see, that it's Jonathan's face. You hear it, the voice, though.
Well, okay. If I hear the voice, that's a bit better. If I just saw the fucking hand beckoning me, that would be... I'll try.
Do not trust in One's words. He is a liar and will bring you only despair.
Hey.
Okay.
Let my scarred body serve as proof of that.
I'm following you.
Alright.
Alright, so the walls start to basically close in on you as you are just getting out of this, and they start to press against you. So I am going to need...
Brace it with something!
Are you going to help him, Jonathan?
Yeah, I do.
Alright, so it was 4 for your strength plus athletics.
That's correct.
Alright. And David, what is your dexterity plus athletics?
7.
Alright. Alright, yeah, so you managed to get, an arm out, and Jonathan, you grab a hold of him, and you're able to yank him out just as the thing, closes together.
Okay.
It does seal off...
I sent you a message, by the way.
Alright. Yeah, it does seal off the way, so that,
It's a short message, Ryan, that's all I can say.
so that the gray man can't reach you. But yeah, you didn't, Jonathan, you didn't actually see the Spider-Men overhead. But, yeah. From what you know of this place, you don't think that they would be probably coming after you.
Okay. Well, as we're running, I will ask him, what did you see?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
What did you see?
So I saw... Are we talking while we run back to that shed?
Well, I already know where you're being led right now.
It's not necessarily the shed.
But you will have to... You don't know the way, so you have no idea where he's leading you.
Wherever he's leading me.
Alright.
So I'll explain that I attempted to see through the Madness Network again, and was knocked out again by the voice.
The voice?
The voice, yes. So...
Do you hear it too?
Yeah, normally I hear a bunch of voices when I try to tap in, but there's just one that's way louder and it's speaking a language I've never ever heard before. And
You didn't understand it?
Nope.
I understand it. Just fine. It told me where to find you right now.
You're not doing yourself any favors for trustworthiness.
The Ryan's just blunt.
You know when Harry Potter tried to explain that he could talk to snakes and was like, "You're not supposed to do that."
I know of that scene, that's correct.
It didn't matter that he was the good guy in the movie. You're not supposed to do that.
You can talk to him too, you simply cannot understand him. I have spoken to him for hundreds of years. I know what he says.
Oh, sounds horrible.
You will learn to appreciate his warnings.
Who is he? Is he the same person who would appear when I went to the bridge that you warned me of, or is he someone else?
I do not know. It is merely a guiding voice that brings me warnings. Heed his warnings, or live to die another day.
Alright. Gotcha. Who's the guy, who's the floating guy?
Speaking
So-
a language
Yeah, I
he
know,
does
right?
not understand.
You would be familiar with the fact that he is, called the Gray Man, although whether or not you would want to actually say the words out loud in English is up to you, given the
I
consequences.
will absolutely not. I will
All
shake
right.
my head.
Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
as a character, I suppose that's the same reason why he's refusing to just say Slender Man.
Do you actually... Alright, so that was out of character, you said that?
That was I
Okay.
prefaced that with out of character, my friend.
He said out of character,
Alright.
very clearly.
Good.
So roll courage.
My courage in real life is one.
Yeah,
Same.
we've noticed.
So, okay. Well, yeah, that's everything I saw. Tell me if I was right or wrong to not open those body bags, my friend.
Body bags?
Yeah, I woke up next to a pile of body bags, and I didn't open them.
I would assume that's good.
Good.
We're gonna switch over to these other guys while you
Alright.
head towards your destination, since obviously it is gonna be a while for you to get there.
Yeah.
You would know, based on the geography of this place, it's always shifting a little bit, but it's gonna take you a while to get there, even on the most direct route. Alright. So, they have finished... Jonathan, they have finished their experiments on you.
Alright.
Real Jonathan. Very real.
I was gonna say, can I secret a drop of blood of Jonathan's? Just
No, fuck you!
They've got it. They've still got it there. They've just been
Okay.
doing experiments on it. You can talk to them later if you really
yeah,
want
okay.
to.
I'll discuss with them later about this.
Of Jonathan's blood. Quotation marks.
Well, either way, I don't care what it is that we're experimenting on. I just like to get
Alright.
people's blood.
So, the wizards kind of ask for a moment alone with Jonathan. They ask for you and Derek and Terry to step outside.
All right, I'll step outside, but I am auspexing.
All right. The place is warded, so...
Okay, so that doesn't
You make
work.
the effort,
I make
though.
the effort. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't just oh yeah, let's.
So, Jonathan, basically, Dent and Gibson kind of sit down. Gibson is still senile, so he doesn't really say anything. But Dent kind of says, son, I don't really know how to put this. It's a little bit awkward. You're in the process of being possessed.
Okay. You know, I had my my suspicions. That's not quite as surprising as you figured, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if... I don't know how you want to deal with this, but your soul has already got a mark on it, essentially.
Right. I don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, the thing is normally, I mean, really at this point you can't even die, because if you die, your soul will just be taken directly. And the mark seems kind of permanent to us. It's always possible. I don't want you to, give up hope. but this is a very malignant form of
I feel like
possession.
This is a doctor's appointment where you're told you have cancer. You know, anything's possible, but you're pretty much dead.
We can try chemotherapy. So
How many years, Doc?
we don't know when it will take full effect. It could be days, it could be months, it may even be years. You can still live a rich, full life.
Still live a rich, full life.
We just wanted to talk to you about this now. We think...
Well, I doubt that last claim, but...
We just wanted to talk to you about it now. We think it would be maybe a good idea for you to talk about it with your friends and family.
I agree with one of those options.
So,
But yeah, we just wanted you to have a chance to process
Steven
it
being
first.
asked to leave knows that something's up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was in on the whole wizarding going on, so I'm aware. Okay. So I've got my suspicions now. All right.
So, after a little bit, basically they kind of call everyone back in.
Okay.
And, Den kind of has a hand on Jonathan's shoulder. He's like, would you like to tell them now?
I'd prefer to do so when I'm by myself.
I mean, alright. The thing is, with this ritual, I don't know if there's anything you want to say to them now, because you may not have a chance to say anything to them later.
Oh, I really think we're going to this now. That was in character.
Yeah.
Out of character, I also really regret to this. Alright then. Fine, I'll let them know. So, my dear friends, I will lean forward slightly, force a smile. It will appear that I am in the process of being possessed.
Ah.
Aha.
By Slenderman.
I would assume as much.
See. So will this make him a better conduit?
I'm glad you seem to care so much for me, Stephen.
Fucking cold!
I just went Tremere on you, sorry.
Alright, Jonathan, why don't you give me a perception plus empathy?
Consider yourself uninvited for my birthday party. Wow.
What's your perception plus empathy there, Jonathan?
It's 5. Stevens is 0.
You think maybe he might be trying to cover some emotion by being very businesslike.
Thank you. I went very British in Tremere, alright?
So you are smart enough with emotions to know that maybe he's having some problems dealing with it.
Uh-huh.
And that's why he's being very cold.
Right.
Very scientific, very analytical, very British, very Tremere.
It will make him a better conduit.
says Dent admiringly. Yes, that is very practical.
So,
well, in any case, as he said, it's possible we may not meet again. So, if that does turn out to be the case, thank you for the kind times. I appreciate it.
You are a worthy friend.
Conduit.
I was thinking associate.
No, I paused.
All right.
I paused, but I did say friend.
You have
right?
performed.
Yeah.
I mean this. You have performed adequately.
You performed adequately. Yes. No.
Right.
That was
The highest
you have
praise
been
a vampire
worthy
can give another.
Pause. Friend. All right.
Glad to hear that.
So they start preparing the ritual, and they say, we're going to be able to send someone through to try and help Ryan. That's basically what this portal's going to do. But we're going to need to pick someone. Obviously, we're going to need your help, Steven, to help us keep this portal open.
Going, right.
And we can only send in, one person, basically. We might be able to send
that should be me then.
2, but it would be very dangerous.
Well,
you're the conduit.
The conduit. You
so
can't go
they're
in.
performing it on you. You
so
are
it's
the portal.
So it's Terry or Derek.
Oh, I thought they would. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Derek's no.
So let's send in Derek.
All right.
Well, Stalworth, what do you got to say about that?
I'm sorry, I took my headphone out for a second. What
Okay,
did I
Stalworth,
say?
that is unacceptable. You are not a worthy friend, alright?
You missed my heartbreaking speech of farewell.
You missed my whole coldness toward Jonathan.
Okay.
You're gonna have to watch the video later.
So, Stalworth, TLDR, you have volunteered yourself to go to the Legend Man world.
You're going through the conduit, Derek. That's what you need to know.
Legend Man world to save me. Are you up for it?
Yeah, man, sure.
Alright, see, I
Also-
knew I'd be up for it.
Also, Jonathan has cancer.
So Jonathan is being possessed by Slenderman.
I have ghost cancer.
He has ghost cancer.
All
No,
right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Derek just says nothing. I mean, Derek is just silent. Terry and Derek just silent.
He's devastated.
At
He's
least,
shocked.
at least Stephen was like, "Is he a decent conduit?" All right.
So they start taking you off, Derek, to prepare you for this. They basically strip you naked, start checking you out, writing sigils on you.
What is this?
and
termination?
Stephen is very into this. You know this. This is a fit young man.
Only organic material can go through the portal. Is this
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
Terminator.
It's it's the way hermetic rituals work. All right.
So as this is going on, Jonathan, you're kind of, just sort of hanging out. You know, obviously you see Derek naked. But Terry kind of comes up to you, puts a hand on your shoulder. He's like, it sucks, man, I don't know. If you need to talk to someone about it, I'm here
It's not
for you.
me. Not me. All right. No.
Gives me the number for therapist.
Anyway, so he says, we've had ups and downs, but I always thought you were a pretty okay guy.
Thanks. Likewise.
All right, so
I did say likewise.
all right. So as you guys are checking out Derek, so Inyaga, as part of the protection, gave you a little, bag of,
Oh, you got your bag of mojo.
yeah, of goods that would protect you. And as they're kind of checking through your things, Dent finds the little bag, and he holds up and asks you, what this is for.
And Derek doesn't know. Well, dude, I had a bag on me?
Stalworth?
I swear it's not weed.
It's
Stop
protection.
and frisk! What is it, stop and frisk? No.
What was that you said, Stalworth?
Oh, I said it's protection that was given to me by someone in my clan.
So they kind of look at it, and they kind of both examine it. And,
This actually calls him to you.
no, actually, you can give me an intelligence plus a cold as well.
Okay, 7.
See, they're gonna say it, but
Special.
you might be able to. You at least have the
Intuit it on my
satisfaction
own?
of knowing what it means.
Knowing that I was correct.
Yes. This actually would work, possibly. It is shamanic, and it is a ward
But it
against
didn't when we were in that building.
Fey-like creatures. It would offer you some protection against... Actually, yeah. No, wouldn't know whether or not it worked or not, because he freaked out and ran away once the fire started.
Oh,
He wasn't in
that's
the area.
true. That's true. Derek is a coward.
They say within short distances, though, this would offer some protection, possibly.
So had Angus had this,
Yeah, he would have been
he
okay.
might have not lost all of his. He might not have been the amputee that he is today.
Unfortunately, as part of this ritual, it means you're cut off from the fairy realm. That's what it's meant to do.
All right, so it's Terry.
So you are actually not going to be able to be sent through. It is
All
going to
right.
have to be Terry.
Glad we got to see you naked, but suit back up.
All right, so Terry
Terry.
Terry starts stripping naked.
I've seen Terry naked. It's nothing. We can draw more sigils on him. I did this many times.
Yeah.
He may even have a hermetic symbol tattooed on him in some place already.
All right. So, with that, the ritual starts to begin. So, Jonathan, they ask you basically to lay out on the slab. They
All right, then.
still have the pillow for you. And then they start, you put all your reagents and accoutrements, your candles and everything all around him in a big circle. You draw your circle.
We're doing our thing.
Yep.
Blah, 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 yeah.
Right.
Doing our warding symbols.
So you guys
in there,
are
blah, blah,
positioned
blah.
in a triangle formation around him, obviously, so that you can triangulate your activities. Jonathan, you are meant to basically hold a candle over yourself. It is lit, and you're just holding it over your chest.
All right.
We don't need a strength check. You're good.
Okay.
It's just a dollar store candle. It's about 3 inches long, half an inch in diameter. It's not that difficult.
It's actually pure beeswax.
It is. Because
All right.
it's kosher. It's got to be kosher.
Well, obviously, yeah. And so, Derek, you're not much of a part, but you watch this portal being opened, and Terry, checks his gun, and then steps forward.
Purely naked.
You
but with his
guys
gun.
can see through the portal, and what you can see is there actually seems to be some sort of bridge which Terry steps onto. It's like a long wooden bridge, and then at the very end of it, you can see another figure coming towards you along the bridge. And, so
Okay.
they step forward, and then they meet one another.
I'm a chanting. I'm a blah, 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 blah.
So, so you can't really overhear what they say. But then, after they've been talking for a little bit, Terry runs off down the bridge further on, and then the other figure starts sprinting towards you. And you can see a weird, emaciated, shadowy figure behind him. So he starts running towards you, and give me a perception plus alertness.
That is 4. No, 5. That is 5. I upgraded that, apparently.
All right. The figure runs forward and leaps through the portal out at you, and you can see that it is Jonathan.
But Jonathan is on the slab.
And as he hits the portal, he disappears. He doesn't come out into your side.
Okay.
Was it current, Jonathan?
His soul is back.
Was that Jonathan's
Yeah, Jonathan,
soul?
actually, you can probably see it from your position too, so you give me a perception plus alertness.
Yeah, but was it current this time, Jonathan, or was it...
It's just
I'll explain.
fucked up.
Perception
Give
plus
me a perception
alertness.
plus alertness first, and then
Just do it.
I'll tell you how much you figure out.
Perception plus alertness, was it?
Yes.
5.
All right.
He obviously upgraded it as well. Because we get this roll a lot.
So
We do get this roll
you see
quite
that
often.
it is yourself, and you recognize the clothes as yours. And the other thing is, you do kind of you rolled high enough. You remember the last time you wore them. These were the clothes that you were in when you emerged out into Florida.
Well, see, that should have just clued us in right there. He emerged into Florida. Of course he's possessed.
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, good God.
Well, now, to be fair, the first thing I did when I met in Florida was immediately try to escape Florida.
That's a good point. So
I
if
still have my
so,
wits about me.
it would make sense why Terry talked to you. It also makes sense possibly why he his advice maybe makes a little bit more sense now.
Because he knows that you were possessed.
Yeah. When they were basically
Well,
discussing it,
Can I speak when I'm like this?
yeah.
That was me.
Dent's like, yes, I understand.
Chant, 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 chant. In rhythm. That was,
Yeah.
yes, I understand. Chant, 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 chant.
So Derek's really the only one who can kind of speak freely with you at this point.
That was me back when I escaped from that weird domain. The me from back then.
The view from...
From when I escaped this pocket dimension.
So there's some type of time loop or something happening.
I would assume as much, yeah.
What are the implications of this?
You may be going back in time, I think.
I see.
Dude, why didn't you just kill yourself when you have a chance?
Or alternatively, a time loop, time pocket, something. I don't know. I don't get this.
I never understood Donnie Darko. Like, the plane is from the end. How does it hit him at the beginning?
Well,
Just be careful in there.
I will, don't worry.
Alright.
Anyway, if it really is to me from back then, and you meet him again, he'll probably just act like me and be me, so you can probably team up, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, Derek is actually not going through. It's Terry went through.
Terry
Because
went
Derek,
through.
Terry went through.
Yeah, Terry
Yeah,
went through.
Derek had his ritual.
He's in there now.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yep.
It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Terry's just going
Right, so
through shit. It's
ignore
fine.
what I just said then.
Alright.
The never happened with scratching that off, clean slate.
Yeah. So Terry went in there just now to give you the advice back then.
To kill yourself, which you obviously didn't do because you've been living for hundreds of years in this dimension.
No, he gave that advice to me, the me who's here right now.
Did he?
Yeah. No, he gave that advice to past Jonathan, whose adventure we already saw and it's on YouTube now. But the current Jonathan who's with me now is still someone completely different.
Alright. I don't know. I'm confused by all these Jonathans.
Jonathan Prime, as we call him.
Now you're
Neo Jonathan.
Jonathan 2.0.
Also called Joshua.
Yeah.
So why did Terry tell him that only except for the fact that he was told that's what he would tell him?
Well, that and he just learned that Jonathan is in the process of being possessed and we don't know any current way to stop it.
Oh, and I suppose killing himself. Yeah, okay, alright.
If he had killed himself before the possession had started, he might have been able to avoid it.
Yeah.
Wow, Terry's dark.
You know, he lives with it from there.
Although, actually, well, he did just learn that, like, his friend is gonna basically go to hell because of this possession,
there's,
so...
like, there's nothing that Jonathan can do now. It's either you try and kill yourself, you're just possessed by Slenderman. You know, it's not
Terry's
like...
dark, though.
You know, I mean, he's saying, hey, before you're possessed and live a fate worse than being a vampire for the rest of your life, you know, just go into non-existence.
Alright.
Well, you can't really blame me for not trusting him back then after I'd seen so many fucking
know.
visions.
You know.
Yeah.
It all comes around.
It all comes around.
Alright.
It all comes tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. Yeah, anyway.
Alright.
Alright, thank you for that musical interlude.
So...
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, you guys eventually, so after you lead him for a ways, Jonathan, this is in the alternate world.
So Ryan.
Okay, this is the real Jonathan.
Yeah, this is the actual Jonathan.
Jonathan 1.0.
Yeah. So you eventually do reach the cavern, and basically
The cavern.
yeah. So
Not
it is
the shed, a cavern.
no the cavern.
The cavern, as if there is
So,
a specific cavern that we are aware
Now,
of.
Jonathan, I mean Miles is aware of it.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so, could I get a bit of clarification? Was it Miles out of character or Jonathan in character who said, I will bring you back to the shed?
I
I was in
think
character. I said that in character.
yeah.
So Ryan knows he's getting
Yeah.
right now.
So now you're at a cavern. The cavern.
Well, yeah. From David's perspective, it's a cavern.
It's a cavern.
Alright, Jonathan.
Where the hell is the shed?
So Ryan, I'm clearing some distance away from Jonathan once again. Jonathan, why did you say you bring me to the shed? This isn't the shed.
And the maniacal laugh.
So at this
wait,
point,
wait.
the cavern stretches out like it's elongating itself and basically covers over both of you. The last thing you see is Jonathan's laughing face as all light is blocked out and you're thrown into pitch blackness.
Fuck my life.
I hate you, Jonathan!
The laughter echoes for a little while and then just disappears. Although Miles' laughter can still be heard.
Now I have to mix up between my own laugh and in-character confusion. God damn it.
Fuck you.
So, I assume you're going to try and perceive your new surroundings.
Do I still have my pocket light?
You do actually.
I will turn it on.
Alright, you just see red. And, it kind of feels sticky.
I see red and it feels sticky.
Yeah. So looking a little bit down the corridor, you might be able to perceive that you're in a massive hall of meat.
Like a big heart,
Yeah.
where blood is pumping through. Like that heart nailed to the wall.
Okay. Well, I'm in a corridor. Does it go both ways?
Yep, it does, and then it goes to cross-sections, which lead off in other directions, or you can keep going straight forward.
Now, is this a mammalian heart with a large four-chambered structure?
He doesn't know yet.
Okay.
Shut up, Mary.
Sorry, it's the
Alright,
scientist in me.
So, I'm gonna flip a coin.
Okay.
Alright, the
Alright, I
Malkavian
go
way of
the
making
direction
decisions.
I go the direction I'm already facing.
Alright. So you just start heading down that way. Because, I'm going to say probably the direction you were facing was looking at this giant looming thing, like, enveloping you, so you're heading further in from where you were.
Sure.
And yeah, so these things, they go off in cross-sections every, several feet or so. So you can turn off left or right on any of them, or you can just keep heading straight forward. Straight forward?
Turn left.
Alright. There we go.
Sorry, I had to do some coin flip.
Alright. Yeah, so you start heading through this place, and there is no sign of anyone in here. There's just kind of your own squelching footsteps on the meaty floor.
Squish. Squish.
Although you do occasionally think maybe you hear Jonathan's echoing laughter through the cavern, but it's hard to tell.
Oh.
So, as you are, twisting and turning, you come around a corner, and then you see a figure in the darkness, and it is Terry. And when, basically, the light, he puts his hands up to light, it's like, ah!
Terry?
Ryan?
Yes.
Thank God, I finally found you.
Why are you here?
I was sent to find you by Steven.
Alright, you're the most convincing vision I've had in here so far.
So you actually are looking at him, and you can see, his face, his beard is, really long. It looks like he hasn't shaved it in days, basically. He looks kind of haggard.
And he's a clean-shaven guy.
What was that?
Yeah, he's
He's
gay.
wrong.
He manscapes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, he's not a bear,
No, not usually. This is unusual for him.
Terry, how long have you been here?
Seems like it's been several days.
Wow. How did you end up in this cave?
I don't know, man. I was looking for you. They said to look for you. They didn't give a ton of advice past that.
Yeah, but alright, well, hear me out, right?
I mean, Jonathan gave me kind of the rundown, but he said that things just twisted in on themselves when he was walking around, so...
Jonathan, you talk to Jonathan here?
Yeah, he's the one. He's the portal.
Well, the portal just fucking locked me in this cave, fam.
Wait, so you've ran into... Wait, I think I understand. The Jonathan you met is the Jonathan from the past that was already here when he said... he was looking for the way out. He was trying to find the bridge to get across it.
Okay. Problem. The Jonathan I was talking to told me not to go to any bridges and said he's been here for a very, very long time and didn't show any signs of wanting to leave.
Huh. That may be a third Jonathan, then.
Christ. Okay. So here's the thing, Terry. If that is Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I have zero reason to believe you're actually Terry.
I am Terry.
Yeah, well, Jonathan said so as well, didn't he? And
Well,
then he
he's
lost
not
his
lying. He is Jonathan.
Well, alright, well then Jonathan is fucking evil. He locked me in a cave and he's clearly in league with someone who shouldn't be named when we're in his pocket dimension.
Well, hell yes, of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, that makes sense because of the possession.
He's possessed.
Yes.
Great. Okay, well then it all adds up. Sure, whatever. Well, so that means possessed Jonathan is still here somewhere? You ran
Well,
into him when he was looking for the way out. Did he get out?
Jonathan got out, but I don't know if Jonathan got out.
Sure.
You're doing this on
So
purpose now.
So there's potentially an evil Jonathan with the guys now.
Yes. If that's so...
That we're using as a portal. Gibson, Dent, and Steven are using this Jonathan as a portal, sent me here to find you.
We should definitely hurry because we've been basically we've been in here for days since they opened the portal, so
They can only chant so long.
I don't know.
The escape plan, Terry.
First, do you need any blood? Because you've been locked in here for like weeks. I mean, I found food,
fine.
but
I'm fine. You found food in here?
not in the cave, no, but in the world, yes.
Yes.
When I went through the city.
What, the city? You were in the city? Did you run into any things?
The spider creatures, I tried to avoid them.
Ugh.
I
Ryan does a shiver.
also saw this weird figure, like a guy dressed all in gray, just hovering
Yeah,
over
okay,
the ground.
Stop right there. Yeah. Don't describe things in too much detail.
Alright,
So
we'll
you
just
ran
call him the Gray Man.
No!
And you start to feel like a terrible sense of dread in the pit of your stomach.
Now, why would you think Terry was ever on your side?
Are you actually saying that to him through the caverns, or is that just a miles aside?
Of course.
So Terry can definitely feel there's something wrong too, and he basically kind of like grabs your... Well, he would grab your sleeve, but you don't have a shirt anymore, so he just grabs your...
He just grabs you and tries to
Your arm.
get you out of there because he needs to get back now. He's found you. He's got to get back. That's his instructions.
Do I feel like I'm running towards the Grey Man with him or away from him?
You have no idea. You feel like... You're not sure where he is, although you do get like the feeling like there's something behind you. You know, that kind of just like eerie feeling when...
Hair on the back of your neck standing
Like
up.
there's something really close behind you, but you can't see it. You feel like that, and he's pulling you forward.
I'll run with Terry then.
Alright. So, he starts saying, hopefully we'll be able to get out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Hopefully, we'll be ready to get out.
What the fuck do I say to that?
Yes!
Usually you're able to get out if you find the right way.
Well, yeah.
Again, self-evident statement. Let's just go with it.
All right. So, meanwhile, back out in the real world with the portal.
How long have we actually been chanting?
Terry went in a few minutes ago, so it's been about 15 minutes.
All right.
So, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's Jonathan.
Real world Jonathan.
Okay, good.
Give me a willpower roll.
Current or permanent?
Current.
4.
Okay. So you guys are basically chanting, and then Jonathan freaks the fuck out. He starts, like, trying to grab at you and disrupt the ritual, and he basically throws the candle aside. Dent, he points at you, Stallworth. He says, hold him down.
Can I grab Jonathan's head, turn him toward me, look at him?
You guys have to keep your focus on the portal.
Alright, so I gotta keep my focus.
So he's yelling at Derek, grab him.
Straddle this guy and pin him down.
Alright, I'll hold him down.
Alright. Jonathan, you automatically spent 1 blood point to increase your strength the turn that you lost control of yourself.
Okay.
So, what is your strength plus brawl with that in mind?
3.
Okay.
Spending a willpower. No.
And Derek, what is your strength plus brawl?
Let me see here. 7.
Okay.
Okay, let's hope the difficulty is not too high here.
Yeah, so you managed to pin him down and hold him in place. And then Dent also points to the candle on the ground while keeping his focus on the portal. Pick it up, hold it over him.
Alright, I'll pick it up and hold it over him.
Alright, so you're basically straddling on top of Jonathan, keeping him pinned on this slab, and holding this candle over his chest.
So, Jonathan, your view is David's face, or is Derek's face just growling at you with his animal features?
And Mary, give me a wits plus occult to see if you kept your concentration.
That is 6.
Alright. Yes, you maintained your concentration on the ritual. The portal is still open.
Okay.
Ryan, you and Terry run through the meat corridors, and as he leads you back, what he says is the way you came, you eventually emerge out into the temple.
The temple, not a temple. The temple.
So, as always, there are a series of benches in the back towards the main double doors you entered through.
As always.
And, of course, you do see the massive astrolabe hanging from the ceiling.
Of course.
At the focal point of the temple.
Are.
Now, Zach, you're speaking from Ryan's perspective right now. Why does Ryan know what the temple layout should be?
It's weird, because you don't remember ever being here, but it's so familiar, like you know where everything is.
Like, this would obviously be a temple.
Sure. Well, does Terry seem to know where to go? Because apparently I do.
So he's like, where the fuck is this?
I have no idea, and yet at the same time I know exactly where we need to go. Follow me.
Alright. So outside through the stained glass windows, you're able to see that there seems to be a little bit of a sandstorm brewing. But
a tiny one.
But it doesn't seem as bad as it could be. It seems like it's pretty clear outside.
As bad as it's going to get. It doesn't seem as bad as it's going to get once you walk out the doors.
So the double doors at the opposite end are sealed, with the plaque reading over them, with a plaque which is over them. Mm-hmm. You're not really sure what it's going to say, but when you get up to it, it does read, know thyself. And another odd thing that you don't feel like is supposed to be here is to either side of the door, there are like little flag posts set up. One with a British flag on one side, and then with an Irish flag on the other side.
So this is not a normal Catholic ritual to you. So.
How would you know?
And there is, of course...
It's not satanic, so therefore...
And it is...
Okay, fair enough.
And it is, you know, just past the astrolabe, and of course there is the controls for the astrolabe, which can be found on the altar.
Alright. How much do you know about astrolabes? If only you were Svezdan.
How much do I know about myself?
That's a good point.
You are the astrolabe.
Fortunately, you don't need to do that much work because all of the constellations and things are highlighted to make it a little easier to navigate.
Okay. Alright, so...
Well, that's piss. So, what the fuck does the astrolabe have to do with the flags?
Who knows?
Let's have a look at these flags. Do they seem to be covering a door or some shit? And what
No,
are
just
they
next
placed
to
over?
him. So here's your question. Are you loyal to the British or the Irish?
Yeah, well, whatever. How do I pick one? Like, what's the mechanism with these
The
flags?
flag just seems to be sitting there. There's a post in the ground. It doesn't go up very high. It's kind of like an interior flag post. And they're just kind of hanging there. If they look like regular fabric, you can kind of tug on them. Seems normal.
Alright.
Is there an empty flag post somewhere in the building, like underneath the astrolabe, that he needs to take the flag and put it into?
You can give me a perception plus investigation.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
7.
You do not find anything else that seems out of place here. Everything seems exactly as it should be.
Alright. So, inspect the astrolabe.
Alright,
Let's
so...
start
Yeah?
with my own star sign.
Okay. And which one is that?
Let's just give Ryan the same birthday as me, so it's Cancer.
Okay.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Zach's a Cancer as well.
So, you move it over, and there is like a big like circle in front of you, kind of like where you could position a constellation. And you position it in there, and all of a sudden, the windows seem to shatter. You hear like the sound of glass, and sand rushes through.
Apparently, Sandstorm got worse.
It scours your skin like just raw. So, do you have any fortitude?
Terry's hiding under a bench.
No, I don't.
Alright.
So, gonna take some damage.
So in that case, you take 3 points of aggravated damage.
Aggravated. This is like nasty sand.
And Terry takes 2 points.
Oh, poor Terry.
Okay, I want everyone to check the chat right now, the text chat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have to look forward here to...
Ah, fuck off.
Carry on.
Alright. You feel like that was not correct.
Okay, so Cancer's
Yeah.
not good. All right, 11 more.
No shit.
All right, so do you know Jonathan's birthday? Probably not.
Terry, what's your star sign?
Dude, when was Terry born? I have no idea.
I will... Wait a minute. I've got a D12 here. I'll just roll that and determine it. He is a Aries.
I'll point to Aries.
Well, as soon as you start to do it, he says, "Wait! Are you sure it's in reference to me?"
Yeah, no,
That sucked. Like, his skin is, like, red and raw
he's
from
like
this.
he's hiding under a bench going, dude, it's probably not about me.
I'm just gonna say, you know, I don't want to... It's not an
Let's
American
remember what
flag.
the
It's an
code
Irish and a British one. It might be in reference to you.
I already did my star sign, though.
Maybe it's something else.
Maybe it's a British thing.
Alright, how can I have a different star sign?
Well, do you have a... I can send you a quick list of all of the star signs in case you don't have it. And, yeah.
How can you have a...
It might not be what is your star sign.
It might not be what is your star sign. It might be what might else it be. I'm gonna look at this.
Yeah, try your star sign again.
Yeah.
The second time.
If you do it a second time, it'll work. All right. So you've got the we've got the English translation.
We'd probably use the Latin.
So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces. I don't know how that helps us.
I guess this is more descriptive of what they are, so that might help you.
Yeah, the crab, the maiden, scorpion, archer, the goat horn, the water bearer, the fish. I don't know how that helps us. Well, I mean, the spider people are kind of crabs, but that was Cancer, and that did not work. I don't know. Does the longitude have something to do with it? So what was the astrolabe on originally?
The astrolabe was set to just a neutral position.
How do you get a neutral position?
Well, because there's a circle that shows which constellation it is. It's set to not be on one of any of those. If he had known about navigation, it would have been set to the sky over where he left. But
okay. But he doesn't know about navigation because he does not have the navigation skill.
Yeah, I doubt anyone like Ryan would know what the night sky on when he left was in Belfast. It seems unlikely.
Does he know his sire's, what's his death date? Is his death date the same as his birth date?
When did I become a vampire?
It would have been under Virgo, the maiden. You were virginal up until you were embraced.
Virginal. Woohoo! Until Steven got you, then you weren't.
It's true.
That was not a maniacal laugh, Miles. That was a I'm disgusted by old men pedophilia laugh.
So
It wasn't that. That was an
So I was embraced under Virgo. Is that reason for me to point this at Virgo now?
When was he sucked into Slenderman? What was the date he was sucked into Slenderman's dimension?
That would have been. That probably would have been around Taurus.
So in April, early May.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when you entered this pocket realm.
Terry kind of goes over and starts kind of playing with the flags. Well,
I love that hand motion you just did was like...
Yeah, he's like seeing if there's something inside it. Basically, he's holding it up. He's trying to see if there's anything in the fabric.
And you're like, Terry's playing with the... Then there was nothing in your... Anyway, it was very masturbatory.
It's a tearing motion. It's not masturbatory. It was a tearing motion because they were going opposite directions.
It was very
masturbatory. When would you jerk off with your hands going opposite directions?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't jerk off, so I don't know. But it was just very... Terry was playing, and there was like... Anyway, all right. So, we've got an Irish and a British flag.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a couple of different dates. Any ideas?
Nope.
Not really.
All right, you guys are not helpful.
Alright. So I'm gonna look around for Babel.
All right. There is none written here. Although, actually, you do see... Give me actually a perception plus babble.
6.
All right, so you do check everywhere, and you do find one piece of babble. Give me a wits plus babble.
5.
All right. It is a marking on the door, and it reads, "Know thyself." It says it in both babble and in English.
Wow.
Very helpful.
Know thyself. So think about yourself, Ryan. Where did you come from?
What's your credit card number?
0542.
Don't.
So it's not your birth date. Do you actually know? Do you actually know when you were embraced? Because you don't remember your past. You've realized that you've been dominated.
We already had this. It's Virgo.
You think it's Virgo.
You think it's Virgo, but you realize that you've been dominated.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that. Like, no matter how hard I try, I can't
Know
break it.
thyself, David.
Can I attempt to just break a dominate memory thing?
I'll give you a willpower check.
Sure. 7.
All right. So you really try and stretch... Yeah, you really try and stretch your mind as much as you can. And it's hard to remember things because you keep having these memories, and now that you've become more aware of it, you're certain that a number of your memories have been tampered with by your sire. So every time you're trying to remember things, you're not sure if it's you who did it or if it's your sire who made you think you did it, and then at the same time, there's also memories that he tried to remove from you.
Terry has dominate 1, right?
Yes.
Can Terry, like, dominate him and say,
You
remember?
can only undominate someone like that if you have more dominate than
okay.
they have, I think.
I was gonna have Terry scream at you to remember.
So yeah, it feels like there are 2 distinct sets of personalities within you, and you're not sure which one is actually you and which one is the memories, because they also blend together.
So does he have a memory of being Virgo and a memory of something else? Of another sign?
No, nothing like that. He doesn't remember any star signs.
Okay.
Do I remember anything completely out of place? Is there anything he missed that's really like, wow, he really forgot to make me forget that?
He forgot to make me forget that.
Probably the biggest one is the one that you kind of came to as you were being pursued by Slenderman originally. The memory of blowing up the Anglican church. And you might also remember he referred to you specifically as David in that car.
That was very strange.
That's kind of the major like memory that you've recovered that seems important.
Alright then. So, do I have any idea who this David fellow was?
You're not sure if... It's possible, though, that it does kind of feel right as you're trying to put your pieces together. It seems like that's the other you. But you're not sure, is that the real you? Because it feels like you've gone back and forth several times, that you've been both. But it seems like that was the sort of...
Does he have a star sign associated with the other David?
the nationalist you, and then there is the unionist you.
Does David have a star sign that comes to mind?
You don't have any dates. Your memories aren't like that.
Alright, flip your coin, Malkavian.
Roll your d12.
Roll your d12, see what you come up with. You know, I think Ryan really does need to have like a set of D&D dice for various situations that he can just roll.
Give me
Okay, so roll your d12, see
Hey Mary,
what you come up with.
pull out Terry's character sheet and
Do I have Terry? I thought you had Terry's character sheet.
it should be in your thing.
Alright, I'm struck by an inspiration.
Okay.
And it says Scorpio.
Alright. Based on
The d12.
the d12?
Yep.
I think his intelligence should still be the same.
1.
Great.
After that roll,
Alright, so Terry is gonna offer a helpful piece of advice. He
Intelligence
says,
is one.
maybe you're being a little bit too obsessed with dates. Maybe it doesn't have to do with that. Maybe it's more symbolic.
Okay. Sure. I'll have a look at the symbols.
Yeah, it's all.
So you've got the ram, the bull, the twins, the crab, the lion, the maiden, the scales, the scorpion, the centaur or archer, the goat mountain or goat horned, the water bearer or the fish, which describes the other David.
Obviously, the fish. Well, really, there is no other, really. As the memories are kind of coming together, you feel like they're both you.
So what describes you, David?
Okay, alright, fine. Gemini.
The the twins? You think the twins?
Gemini. It's
Okay.
obviously Gemini. Put it on fucking Gemini. I'll put it all on Gemini.
All right,
I'll
we're
bet my
going all
life
in on
savings
Gemini. We're going all in on Gemini.
All right. You put it on Gemini, and the door opens.
Ooh.
It creaks open slowly. And then past it, you see there is a bridge leading off of it. It's like a nice redwood bridge, which leads off over absolute blackness. Just an abyss of nothing. And then on
Okay,
the...
Terry. Yeah? Oh, sorry.
And then on the other side, you can see a portal, and through it you can see what looks to be a room of some sort.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ryan will prepare Solari and say, okay, Terry, waste no time. Let's go.
Alright, as you step forward, you see out of the portal, a figure emerges. The Gray Man. So he moves up to about halfway through the bridge, and just kind of stops there.
Stops there.
Yep.
I will attempt to communicate with him. What do you want?
Alright. So the figure raises up its hat just a little bit, and underneath you can see a completely placid face. It's Jonathan. It then starts floating towards you.
We need to get across that bridge, so...
is the normal me also there? Have I made it there?
You are still crazy in the real world, and then the cavern you is still in the cavern.
Okay.
So many parts
Okay.
to play, Miles.
So it's
And then the
Jonathan.
past you is in Florida.
Yeah. And we
Not
have
killing
Ghost,
himself as he's supposed to.
Well,
and we have Grey Man me hunting Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
the past you was in Florida.
So,
So, Yeah, the Grey Man's Jonathan, and, well, this place is,
Well, that's
you know,
future Jonathan
magic.
when he's totally possessed.
Well, listen. There's one thing I know about Jonathan, and it's that I can take him in a fight.
Go for it. Bring it. I dare you, come on. Bring it.
Fuck off.
Go on. You can't throw hands and then run away.
Game plan, Terry? You ready for this?
What is it?
Does Terry see the gray man?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna slip past this fucker and get out of here.
Just run on either side of him and hope for the best?
Yeah, don't worry, I got this. Just follow my lead, alright?
He's like...
You take... So, I'm gonna... Yeah, I celerity it up.
Alright. He's like, I may have an idea. He pulls out his gun, shoots the gray man, and there's no effect. And he says, okay, we'll try your plan. And he puts his gun away. Alright. So give me a strength plus athletics.
If I lower myself to 1 blood, will I be okay in the short term?
Not if you go into frenzy, because if it's, you'll be a courage frenzy, and if you fail, you're gonna head directly away from him.
Ah, and virtues are limited to how much blood I have, is it?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Shit. Alright, well I can't do that then. In that case, my strength plus athletics, was it?
Yep.
6.
Okay.
I'll spend a willpower point.
Alright.
And I have celerity activated still.
So Terry's able to slip drop by pretty easily because it seems to be mostly focused on you. So out from where you are, you see Terry run through and leap through the portal.
Okay.
And then, so...
It's Ryan, I say as I chanting.
Ryan is, he's like, Ryan's in there, he's coming. Ryan, so your celerity is active, and you manage to just duck past this guy. He reaches out to touch you, not even to, like, attack you, just to touch you slightly. And you barely evade him. Running as fast as you can down this corridor, looking behind you, you can see him just floating slowly after you. Not in a hurry, just coming directly towards you.
He is all peppy le pew about this.
And it seems like the bridge just keeps getting longer and longer underfoot. And you can see the portal is actually stretching away from you.
Can I use a willpower point in the chanting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use a willpower point.
It seems to slow just barely moving away from you. And it stops perched over a space of blackness. It's several feet.
Yeah, I'll make it. Let's do this.
Alright, you jump?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys out in the real world, you see Ryan jump, and he actually comes careening through the portal. The second he does so, Jonathan, you snap out of your state, and you're no longer under... You don't remember anything from the moment the willpower roll happened. You guys, looking back through the portal, you can see a figure moving out of it towards you.
Okay, well, we shut down that portal.
Alright, so that's going to be another intelligence plus occult.
That's 7.
So you start trying to shut it down, but you can feel something fighting against you, keeping the portal open.
I will use another willpower point if I have to.
Alright. So this thing is coming towards you, and it is absolutely about to step into the room when you shut down the portal.
And I used another
You
Nice.
snuff out the light
Okay,
on the candle.
alright. Alright, what the hell was that? Okay, I'm gonna say again, what the hell was that?
How should I think that's the Grey Man.
Terry,
I shouldn't have
Ryan?
said
Portal bursts back open.
Sorry. I just saw the picture. Doc, you have to edit these pictures into the video.
Yeah.
Well, there are 4 of them now.
Yeah. I need to set up.
All right, because that wasn't Slenderman. We know that, right?
It seems like it.
Okay, so what the hell was that? Is Jonathan actually Slenderman? Like, in some weird way?
Do you ask that in character?
Zach's typing.
Yeah, he's typing. He's not listening to me, so
I mean, you don't know.
I like.
we don't know.
I mean, I can't tell you.
Like, so at some point, does, like, Jonathan become Slenderman? Like, I'm beginning to wonder, I think, to myself.
Well, maybe part of being possessed by something like him is that you become him.
But Ryan hasn't told me that this thing following him was actually Jonathan, so I can't make that assumption yet. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, so I'm Ryan, and I'm
Mhm.
just after coming through the portal, and I look around and I see familiar faces.
Yeah.
Am I actually back?
As far as you know.
In character, I'm like, is that you, Stephen? Jonathan? Actual Jonathan? Real Jonathan? Jonathan?
As opposed to, well, I guess past Jonathan. Yeah, it's me. Hey.
Huh. Terry? Still there?
Is Terry with all the beard and the
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah? So
Yeah.
he's still looking scruffy and...
He looks like he's
manscaped?
been in there longer than you think he should have.
So, like how... I mean, obviously, Ryan's been in there for weeks. I'm looking at Terry like, how long were you in there?
Days.
Okay, it's only been a few minutes. Maybe
But
an hour.
to David, does it feel, to Ryan, does it feel like, how long have you been in there for, do you reckon? I ask him.
I have zero idea. I lost conscious too many times.
You've been gone for a couple of weeks.
Well, I must have been in there for fucking years then, if Terry was there for days equal to a few minutes here.
Alright, so obviously that's the time weirdness. Gonna look at Gibson and Dent. They're like, yeah, whatever, time weirdness.
Time doesn't work right in Arcadia.
Okay.
That would explain why there have been multiple versions of Jonathan.
Yes. So what was
Yeah, how
that
many
thing?
versions of me are we up to now?
What was the
Books are
thing coming
crazy,
across the bridge? That's what I want to know. That
What
cloaked
the fuck
figure.
are-
Terry's like, it was Jonathan.
It was Jonathan as a cloaked figure floating across the bridge. So is that like his fully possessed form?
Terry throws up his hands.
My God, I mean, I don't want to be in this anymore. How do I get out of this whole like ghoul thing?
What the fuck is Arcadia? Is that where I was?
That's the Fey world.
Dent nods and says, yes, we believe so. In fact, the fact that this ritual works kind of confirms it. Whatever you're dealing with is some sort of extremely unseelie and very powerful Fey.
I do
Well, great.
eventually
Where's
relay
my
this
fucking
information.
cold iron staff?
I do eventually relay this information to the Tremere that are
All right.
looking at this.
Yeah, I didn't really mention it before, but the staff was actually left at the bank.
So I probably picked it up for him.
Yeah.
So I hand it back to him.
Do you have it with you?
I don't. I probably didn't bring it.
I mean, it's a big iron bar, so...
But it's at the
I want
house.
that iron bar. I want that iron bar, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're dealing with Fae, we should probably all have iron on us.
My gun, did my gun stay on my person the whole time, Zach?
Yeah, if your gun was holstered, then yes, it was with you.
But steel is not the
Alright.
same as iron, right?
No.
We want cold iron. We want pure iron.
Shush, 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 shush. Are my iron bullets still on my person?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna load it with those.
Alright.
Alright. Obviously, we need to get more iron weapons.
Iron-tipped bullets, yeah.
Yes!
Yes.
We need more iron.
Okay. Iron's pretty cheap to buy. We'll put that in with the next supply list. Terry will make more iron bullets. I want a cold iron knife as well. All right.
Well, then Gibson say, obviously, you got your friend back.
How do we protect ourselves against him? I will point at Jonathan.
So, obviously it's a little awkward what with you being here while we say this. But really there's no way to know when the possession is going to take hold. Basically, anytime that thing is around, probably it's going to get a lot stronger.
I've got a few ideas.
If you'd like, we could try and research a way to break the possession, but it's...
That would be... If you
very
get on
difficult.
That would, you know... That would be handy.
So I've got an idea.
Kill him?
I'll discuss this with Terry, the craftsman.
Yeah.
We need to fashion some iron manacles to have on Jonathan at all times. If we just load up his body with iron.
Yeah. We could do that, and then Dent helpfully suggests that it's more like iron hurts when it hits Faye. It's not necessarily, unless you were to coat him completely in iron, just seal him in
now
iron.
You're speaking.
Okay,
my
we're gonna
language.
put him in Iron Maiden. I believe we've got one of those laying around somewhere.
But this thing could probably go through any little cracks, so you would have to just completely seal it, like airtight.
He's a vampire. He doesn't need to breathe.
I mean... It's immoral, though, because you're trapping him in an endless hell.
Well, isn't he in that already?
I don't know, Dent kind of turns over to you, Jonathan.
Just understand this is what awaits you, Jonathan.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is pretty much the end of the session.
Okay.
So, let's go through and give the role-playing award. So, who won it last time? Was it...
I believe David did.
I have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was me.
Yeah. All right, so David, who do you think won?
Miles.
All right. And Miles, who are you voting for?
In that case, I will give it to Mary.
All right, Mary?
Miles. He had a lot to do.
All right. And Stallworth?
I'm going Miles.
All right. So, Miles, you pick up 4 experience points. Everyone else gets 3. It's good because you'll be more
Lovely.
powerful when you turn on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We like that.
In presumably 2 weeks,
Yep.
if you're lucky.
All right. So that is pretty much the end of the stream and the recording. So we'll be seeing you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.